Just then the lone minstrel appears before you. No words escape his lips. You can guess full well what he has come to indicate to you, and follow him back out into the darkness. The stars above seem to be few and fading, and yet one still shines, defiant. The path to freedom reveals itself once more. Seek it out. Soliam, the golden star. How's it going? 62%. Wish that was higher. Yep, The Dissidents by Barca, my old pal. Best voice of the lot, I think. You notice that the lone minstrel is standing there with you, regarding the night sky. The Gate Guardian and I, we have paid witness to the liberation rites upon the fall of Soliam for a long time. We have seen so much. And so, I am a bit taken aback is all to see something which I have never seen. You look upon the stars together for a while, then... I wish for your good fortune and the wisdom of the scribes on your ascent. The lone minstrel leaves you there alone under the night. It has grown very late and you need rest. The black wagon shall have to take flight again come morning. Page revealed, Yashlak Astral Born. Take one more gander through all the areas for any points of interest or imps flying around that I can squash. Get wrecked, nerd. Something appears different now about the sacred mountains west of here. The land near Emperor's Ascent and Emperor's Fall appear ashen. On the other hand, the once precarious regions below, which you know as Temple High Road and Temple Cistern, seem swept clean by the elements. Hedwyn observes all this alongside you. Some weather we've been having lately. It's like all the downsides getting ready for the rites to end. Looks like we can make landing closer to Scribe's Gate this time. I guess I'll take it as good news. Less time we spend having to climb the mountain. The more chance we'll have to rest up for the rite itself. I'll go tell everyone to get ready to land. The Temple Cistern, Sir Gilman will gain favor. With the Temple High Road, Bertrude will gain favor. You arrive once more among the great heights of Mount Elodiel. It appears that Barker and the Dissidents have already arrived along the other route. The Beyonder Crystal seeks Volfred. Once more you have returned to me. What is it, reader? Request of her a scribe trial. I shall gladly oblige my reader. Who is to be the lucky one this time? Well, Volfred Abi. You ask Sandra to administer one of her special trials for Volfred. That fancy-talking sap, you mean? I shall be interested to see if he has learned something since last we sparred like this. Then, let us bring him forth. Soon Volfred appears in heed of the summons. So it is my turn then, is it? Then let us see what we can do, my kin. The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. Listen well, sap. You answer to me here. As you will, O Sandra the Unseeing. Proper as ever, then, though I wonder if you have the wherewithal that you project. Show me, then, what you can do without the benefit of those whom you would lead, and let us see if you and your lovely reader have reached a thorough understanding as of yet. Dang it. Got him. Boom. Yeet! Oh God, why did you pick that up? That is not what I wanted to do. Get in there. Haha! Suckers! Yeah, good luck. Ta-ta for now. Volfred! I am grateful for the privilege of your time, good Sandra. Excuse me. Flattery shall never get you anywhere with me, sap. Nonetheless, your performance was sufficient, and you passed my test. Thus, congratulations are in order to you and to your lovely reader. Now farewell. I had not seen that Sandra in some time. She has not changed a bit, but it would seem she left something for us, did she? Lose bow. At rank 10, Volfred's blink ability transports him farther than usual, plus 50%. His sisters, brothers, fathers, and mothers all were part of him until the arch split them in twain. Meh. No, had not had enough of me just yet. Is that it? Nope. I thought I told you to be gone. She pushes you away as she did before. Perhaps I ought to cease my services to you if you insist on disrespecting my wishes thus. Would that sound good to you, O reader? Imagine not having access to the loathsome trinkets which I grant to you. Imagine those idiots of yours having to get by without my tutelage. I can imagine it just fine myself. I was once a weapon, used to kill an emperor. Attempt to kill him anyway. Now I am, once again, a tool being exploited, soon to be discarded. Go on then, leave me be, go about your business, and let us pretend we do not know full well how this shall end between us. Let us do this all again sometime. Alright, Book of Rites. The Cairn of Halb. How ironic that the shattered, in the words of Loose Glory and 100 Minds, the scholar, How ironic that the shattered remnants of the bone titan Shaxx Six Shoulders, which once stood vigilant over the archway into Flagging Hands, remain now as foreboding as when that horrid monster still possessed unnatural life. After little Haub dispatched the bone titan in a feat of ingenuity, Shaxx's pieces fell unto the valley floor, forming a set of standing stones which Haub marked. Further, traces of the Titan's glacial blood coagulated into perfect frozen drops, which still shimmer in the darkness. Six Shoulders seems to start reanimating when the stars above him dance a certain way. Paint the sigil then in the shining light. Oh, we have new stuff there. Nope, this is not the page I meant to click on. Greater Titans. Bialanthius, the Hive Titan, vanquished by the Scribe Jomuer Minimane. Dolnus, the Locket. Dolnus? The Ash Titan, routed by the 8 Scribes in Black Basin. Indriga, the Widow, the Blood Titan, vanquished by the Scribe under King Ores and the Sea Dominion. Limbless Arazek, the Root Titan, vanquished by the Scribe Luce Glorian. Lord Gandroth, the Serpent Titan, vanquished by the Scribe Golathanian. Sungrease, the World Titan, slain by the 8 Scribes atop Mount Alodiel. Shaxx Six Shoulders, the Bone Titan, slain by the Scribe Haub the Swallow. The Tattered Mantle, the Imp Titan, slain by the traitor Kaelmer Ropecaller. Time Singer Harn, the Sky Titan, routed by the 8 Scribes in Flagging Hands. Unfathomed Plurnis, the Sea Titan, vanquished by the Scribe under King Ores. Zilvius Horseheaded, the Nightmare Titan, vanquished by the Scribe St. Triesta Tithys. Yishlach Astralborn, the Star Titan, sealed away by the Scribe Molten Milithy. I wonder why it's starred out like that. Olden Stars, Aqueth, the Star of the Songfisher, those born under it are well cultured and influential. Arche, the Star of the Sandrunner, those born under it are adventurous and outgoing. Capriast, the Star of the Moonstag Hunter, those born under it are ambitious, though also discontented. Cassius, the Star of the 7th Jester, those born under it are complicated. Lenoriel, the Star of the Silver Spear, those born under it are devoted and faithful. Lebrecht, the Star of the Black Saddle, those born under it are skilled negotiators. Geminian, the Star of the First Empress, those born under it seek knowledge and new experiences. Pycer, the Star of the Wooded Watcher, those born under it are mysterious and alluring. Sagitthaul, the Star of the Whistling Prince, those born under it possess an unnatural exuberance. Scorpus, the Star of the Old Cutter, those born under it are wiser than most. Torvand, the Star of the Great Oarsman, those born under it are cool, calm, and collected. And Virden, the Star of the Broken Bowyer, those born under it are steadfast or narrow-minded. Okay, so I want to see if Pamitha is under Pycer and May is under Sagitthaul. Yishlach Astralborn, the foul name of the Star Titan, is written there but once. Do not invoke it, lest you aid its reawakening. Shit, I've been saying it a lot. It sups upon despair and fear and doubt, and lands such as our own. 'Twas our mighty mistress Milithy which tracked the astral-born monstrosity within its loathsome pit, where it lay nursing wounds sustained from traveling across the stars, in search of simple prey. Oh, these are the chains that bind its Lavos-like body. The wicked astral-born could drive a lesser creature to the brink of sanity with a mere passing glance, but not Milithel. She cast upon the fiend 100 words of binding, each one more binding than the last. With the creature's incandescent skin, we bound this book and bound ourselves unto the stars. Okay, let's see. You. Virden? Nope, not what I guessed. And they're both Scorpus. Okay. Seek the Crone Scribe's favor. With some time to spare before having landed, you join Sir Gilman on a brief expedition to the monument of Molten Millivy. This knight now understands what he must do. His good companions, they inspire him to greater deeds. He shall prove to them that he is worthy of their friendship. Surely he can have his honor back if they see fit. You return to the wagon once he has finished paying his respects. You have occasion once more to pursue your vocations. Sir Gilman gained +3 glory for the next rite. Awesome. Mentor. A companion. Let's see, you need 1655, so we can max you out. You need 2420, so we cannot max you. You need 770, so we can just give you the item, actually. You need 1800, so we can't level you up. You need 190, so you could definitely level up. Alright, but who the hell am I going to free? That is the question. Who's going to be free? So we have Hedwyn. I did want to do Pamitha. Although I generally think Hedwyn would be more helpful. I feel like Pamitha maybe be able to help Tamitha and then turn the winged, the harps onto our side somehow, some way. Like I want that to be a thing. So we'll use the item on her. So we're gonna bring Pamitha. Volfred makes it like an easy fight, kind of, because you just toss the tree out there and do your business with the rest. And then, so he needs how much? 1800, and we're gonna bring. I was planning to bring Sir Gilman. That would be fine, probably. So I guess we'll mentor you. See what happens. Certainly, I would appreciate your point of view. You and Volfred spend some time reviewing some of the specific aspects of the rite, such as the properties of the aura. You sense he gained something from it. Plus 1,000. Well observed, I have to say, my kin. To the Scribe's Gate we go. I am going to take a quick one more bathroom break before we pursue this last little area. And yeah, because I have a feeling we have an ending coming up our way. All right. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. If this is not the end, I don't know what to think. Again you stand before the Scribe's gate, where the great gate guardian regards you all above an archway carved from stone. The exiles of the Nightwings, you must know by now that, once the stars no longer shine, the rites shall cease. For now, step forth. If this is not the last rite, I will be positively shocked. Except for you, Tariq. You stay right there. Greetings, Celeste. The Nightwings are prepared, and as for me, you shall not blaspheme under the gate again. Do we understand each other, Tariq? Aye, Celeste. I apologize for my behavior before. I shall adhere more strictly to my duties. Be sure of it. Now, each of you, come forth. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's gate. One by one, your companions cross the gate until it is your time to do so, and you follow them in turn. Vanessa, hello! How are you doing? Up so late? What's going on? The gate guardian regards you all, then waves you through toward the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Am I free to accompany them, Celeste, or shall I remain here? She looks at him a while. You are free to accompany them, Tariq. As you will, Celeste, until we meet upon the summit then. You might be just in time for the end of the game, but I'm not actually sure. You successfully started and nearly completed a project. Nice. Feeling accomplished, but I hope we so sort of nice. A physical project then. We have several things we might do this weekend. Oh, it's you guys. Well, come on in, I guess. You got here right on time because I was just thinking maybe I would close a little early here, you know? Business has been real good and everything. It's been a little slow in spots, a little slow is all. So I was thinking maybe I should do a sale. What would you say to that? Falcon Ron wishes to know your thoughts all about a potential sale. Go for it. A good, well-promoted sale might be just the thing to shake things up at the slug market. It is important from an economic standpoint to not undercut the value of well-crafted goods. Nah, fuck that. Go for it. Sale it up, baby. You suggest to Falcon Ron that a sale might be a good idea to liven things up a bit. Well, I guess maybe that's a way to look at things. And so then, I am gonna think about it. It's due on it a while, but no promises, okay? They moved 2 shelves out of my room, and Bill started putting all my work stuff back into a new shelf. Nice. Some speaker stands? You got some speakers? So, you buying something here, or what? I don't know. Stardust or a shooting star. The bear can banish adversaries by fleeing the orb at them. Whatever about that one. Does anyone... Okay. His thing's level 20. Her thing's level 20. What's his... Oh yeah, his new thing. Me. Kind of would rather him have like this. No. Volfred, I can level him up, which I am going to do. Ooh, do I want to level him up or her up? What are your skills, my mans? Right, oh, they're over here. Show me the skills. While Volfred and his allies are banished, adversaries are slowed and cannot use abilities. Pretty sick. After casting Sprout, his sapling spawns faster and gains a larger aura. Also sick. Meanwhile, she would gain... aura bursts or move fly faster. The new shelf is shorter than my old setup, so I need to get the speakers up off that surface. Aha. And I love seeing your face and stuff, bud. Am I supposed to be seeing you or the game? Oh, I put up that camera when I went away for my bathroom break, so people could see the shelves and see if there's anything they're interested in back there. But I forgot it was up. How about you get some experience and have a little bit of a level up? Long did I bide my time in anticipation that one day the Nightwings would reform under a common cause. To be a part of it myself, it nourishes the spirits. Choose a mastery. I like the bigger sapling. I like the save yourself, and I like the if we get wiped somehow, they are slowed down. I think the bigger sapling, because my goal for my plan is for him to drop the sapling in the middle and make it so they can't even get to the ball, and then I can take my time doing whatever. So having a faster, bigger sapling is good. Meanwhile, do I want the ring on him? I think yes. None of this other stuff really does anything for him. And she's got the feather, which is awesome, and he's got that, which is also awesome. Okay, do you have anything I want? Not fucking really. See, these are like half. Somehow I broke the system earlier as I bought something and then I sold something and then I was able to buy it back at the same price. So I just did that about 13 times until I hit the 1,000 gold threshold to get the achievement. See, this is kind of cool. I'll hold off for now. This will be the first time in a long time that I didn't buy anything, but I just don't have a lot of money. Didn't see nothing you liked this time, huh? You should have put it on sale, then I would have liked it. Be gone. Commence the liberation rite. Once more, the time has come for the liberation rite, where one among you can go free if you prevail. Freedom is likewise at stake for your adversaries, the Dissidents. Oh yeah, I need some water. The Dissidents voice is the one I enjoy doing the most, but is also the toughest. As your companions gather under the fall, awaiting the commencement of this vital rite, the lone minstrel finds you and regards you in his calm fashion. Night is falling. These moments prior to each commencement, I must admit they give me pause, knowing so much is at stake during the trial that is to come. Tell me something, would you, reader, to ease the waiting for us both. I have traveled far and wide, even beyond these lands. However, the Commonwealth I know only through word and song. I sometimes think on what life would be like out there. If you were not ensnared within this place and free to roam your country, what would you have done with all your days and years rather than striving here under the stars? What would you have done with yourself in the Commonwealth? Maybe you would have tended the land. The simple life on the farm may have been your calling. You missed the earth where you were from. Maybe you would have sailed across the seas. The waters past the borders of the Commonwealth. Therein lies a freedom you would have sought. Maybe you would have retired to the outskirts. You might have gone where it is quieter and peaceful and enjoyed the stillness for a while. Maybe you would have fought for freedom. You yet feel an obligation to correct the Commonwealth toward a better course. I want to choose this one, but I also want to be a farmer. I just always want to be a farmer. Probably would have just went and ran a farm if I had the choice. It's also true in real life if I had the choice. This is the noble cause, but that's what I'm doing here. If I was there, I probably would not have done that. So, I probably would have just tended the land. The lands there in the Commonwealth, they flourish with the proper care. Unlike the wild and oft-times infertile grounds here in the downside, lands there on the other side can be nurtured and made to flourish. It is fulfilling to experience. I see. That seems a pleasurable change of pace to having to traverse the harsh environs of the downside. I can see why that would be desirable. Would that you someday find such a place where the land may be your ally rather than your adversary. Just then, the lone minstrel looks forth, and you see that it is time. The stars above, though faint, begin to burn. Stars don't shine, they burn. The constellations glow. Goodbye. Here we go. This might be my very last basketball game. Are you ready? Are you ready? The burden of the question of who most deserves their freedom is about to weigh on you again.
Once more over the sacred fall of Soliam. 'Twas here that the 8 scribes ordained the glorious tradition in which you now participate. The glorious tradition which you and that instigator Volfred seek to undermine.
True.
'Tis my sincerest hope your adversaries in this liberation rite achieve instead what they desire.
Just actively rooting against me now, huh?
Douse those flames of yours. Let us get on with the proceedings then.
The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the dissidents, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respect you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Are you ready? Barker bursts out from some hidden corner, laughing as he paws at his mask. A real pleasure to be here, mates, truly. Barker Ashpaws. Call me Barker, though, alright? By the by, it was a real pisser getting here, you know. Begging your pardon, Barker Ashpaws, you thusly speak upon the summit of the sacred mountain? Oh my, so terribly sorry to offend you there, lassie. I forgot we got the stars up above there to make me watch me language. Though, let's get one thing straight, lassie. I don't give a bother for your sacred mountain, so you take it and you shove it. Me and my pack, we're here just for the laughs, you got that? The other side ain't any better than this one. We ain't interested in your freedom. But just the same, we're gonna get it. Take it from those wee little babes there, so antsy for it. Hear that, you Nightwings? You better put up a good fight here, or I ain't gonna be happy, understand? Then he shoves his mask back on. Right. Come on then, let's hurry up and get this damn thing started. Nightwings, on whose behalf shall you conduct this liberation rite? Choose quickly. May you heed your heart in making your choice, reader. I trust you are prepared to play the hymns with me, Tariq. Always, Celeste. Oh, man.
Whom do you endeavor to return?
Okay, so these are unworthy anyway, so that doesn't matter. So my choices are Hedwyn, May, or Pamitha. May is better off with her friends here. They treat her very badly up there. It's unfair, and it's quite frankly bullshit. So it was never going to be May. Hedwyn definitely deserves to be the one. We tried to free him once before. We failed. He's been the leader since the beginning of the game. He's the guy that should be up there. He's the leader, so he should be the most beneficial to our cause. But partially at her request and partially because they just kind of cheated and effed us up, we freed Pamitha's sister instead of Hedwyn. Her sister was playing against us. She won. She hates Pamitha. She went up top. She's currently detained and not really out doing what she wants to do, which is gather the harps and continue attacking the whatever the fuck they're called. The Commonwealth. However, I have a feeling. I have a want and a desire in my heart, and I've basically, for the latter half of this game, this has been on my mind. If we free Tamitha, like she requested, which we did, and she's up there, then we free Pamitha, she will go up, join her, get her out of her current confinement, and send her along to, or go with her to rally the harps, which is, I don't know how many there are, but theoretically a substantial population to our cause, which should give a big boost to our plan percentage. So both of these two, I think, would give a big boost. I think he deserves it more, but I'm really curious to see if I'm right about her. So I'm gonna choose Pamitha and apologize to Hedwyn later. And if there's another right, it'll definitely be Hedwyn going free. Don't care if anybody else becomes worthy. So, I'm to get my shot at all this then. How very thoughtful of you, reader darling.
Who shall lend her support? Volfred.
Let us prevail in this night for you, Pamitha, and for the good of our ailing nation.
Sir Gilman.
Such an honor it is for this knight to strive on behalf of the good Pamitha.
It is done.
Alright then, mates, no more waiting, no more holding back, and let's rip them to shreds. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Commence.
Oh. Ah. Oh, no, you don't. Ah. Oh, jeez. Nailed it. Ah. He doesn't need help. He just goes. He's fast. He's so fast. It's amazing. Ah. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Shit, 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 shit. Oh no, you don't. No! Cheating ass dog. What in the? Alright, mate, something's going right funny with that orb, as I can tell. Better laugh it up while we can. Still can, I? Indeed, something strange seems to have happened to the celestial orb. It shudders now as though possessed of the same chaotic power as your adversaries. Ow, ow. Ah, fuck! Damn. Shot her from way far away. Dunked on him. Oh, shit. Damn, the orb was so high. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, infinite stamina! No! Shit! Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Ow, 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 ow. Fuck. Oh god damn it. Oh, there's so many of them. Stop jumping, you little shit.
Somebody get the orb.
I intend to. You fools!
Resplendent.
One more Dunkaroo and we're there.
More like that and we are finished here. There.
Ah! Shit! Cool. Oh god. The orb is going crazy!
Walker's on time out.
Ah, shite. Here, come get it.
None left unscathed. A shameful outcome. Glory to the scribes.
How did that even happen?
The orb.
Fuck.
And there it is.
Ah!
The Nightwings proved their worth. Rather convincingly, I must admit.
That's right. And thus,
Thus ends the liberation rite.
not nearly as sad about Pamitha going out.
Scribes have chosen
Just interested to see what
the
happens.
exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free.
That's right, she shall.
Of all
Remember the
misdeeds,
name.
Return to glory in the Commonwealth. Her adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
Nothing rightful about these sentences. What a joke. Here I was thinking we were gonna make them cry after all this. Come on, mates. I've right had it with this stuck-up place, so let's get out of here already, eh? So, what am I? Supposed to give a speech or something then? Reader, darling, all of you, look. I have no idea still why you picked me. Well, I do have one, but I don't think it's right. If you'd wanted to get rid of me by now, you needn't have gone to such lengths. And so, I'm left only to conclude that you did this for me. The years I spent down here, in one sense, they have all been such a waste, just utterly for nothing. Spectacularly so. I thought that my relationship with Tamitha had nowhere left to go but up, but, well, you know, not quite the case. But then I think on what would have become of me had I made no attempt to set things right. Had I not done everything I have, I could not have lived with that, I think. I was so certain that my life would end down here. I'm only now beginning to consider that the opposite may have come true instead. What I'm trying to say is, thanks to all of you. I mean that. Now, I guess I'd better head on back to that damned Commonwealth, so bottoms up. She plunges into the waters of the Shimmer Pool and disappears from view, though her voice still rings out. We'll have to see what we can do up there, provided that my sisters haven't had their way with it just yet. Anyway, let's find a way to keep in touch, but just in case. Goodbye. Pamitha earned back her freedom. Pamitha is set to return to the Commonwealth and leave the downside forever. May she return in glory.
Godspeed, Pamitha Thane. Perhaps the scribes are watching even now. Watching as their glorious tradition draws to a close. Now take your execrable companions someplace else.
Dang. Rude. That's it, right? It's gotta be. You return to the wagon after having prevailed against the Dissidents in the Liberation Rite. Excellently done, Nightwings. Perhaps this knight too may regain his honor. You succeeded in liberating Pamitha, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory. Our plan approaches a key turning point. 68% still? Let us ensure it soon comes to fruition, not only for ourselves here, but for our companions and our loved ones in the Commonwealth. But we have little time now for reflection into this. Look yonder, reader. The stars demand we go already. Let us help them usher in the end of all of this. Oh, so that wasn't the last one. This is the last one. You turn your attention to the glimmer of the stars. Their current rate of disappearance suggests another liberation rite shall be coming very soon. The few remaining stars still shine for you. Find your way among them. Ores, Jomuer, Goal. We're not going to Ores, but who's there? The Tempers. I'm not going to Goal either. Jomuer. The Dusk star burns bright over the spring of Jomuer. Sir Deluge is already on his way. Ah, yes. The Dum-Dum. The Accusers are back at the top. Huh. Interesting. I guess we knocked them just out of contention and now they're back up. Scorpion. Now the stars bid you to return to the spring of Jomuer, where you shall stand against the Pyrehearts once again. Your adversary, Sir Deluge, likely knows the cycle of the Rites is drawing to a close. His last remaining chance to earn the favor of the scribes and then regain his freedom likely hinges on the outcome of this next rite. The cycle of the Rites is soon to end. The exiles of the downside striving to be free, your adversaries, your companions, even you yourself are running out of time. After the liberation of Pamitha, you find the lone minstrel back in the wagon, looking as though no such thing had just occurred this night. You think you see him tilt his head as you approach. Some words of congratulations are in order for this evening. I should think, reader, and so, congratulations on prevailing in the Liberation Rite. Surely Pamitha shall be most grateful, and her safe return unto your commonwealth ought to benefit the plan in which you all now play a part. As for your adversaries of the Dissidents, they must have been a bitter loss. This must have been a bitter loss for them in Barca, although they must have known their chance was far from certain. Thus shall we await the next turn of the cycle of the Rites. Celeste and I are to return to our respective duties for the time, as now Scribe's Gate is sealed. I await when next we all shall meet, when next you may yet live up to the glory of the Nightwings in the eyes of the 8 scribes, which yet shine down for us. He trails off, then nods to you in his cordial manner, and bids you a good rest of the evening. Investigating outside. On history, In the words of Trieste Tithys, the Blessed Born, this book cannot accompany you if you should earn your freedom. It is to remain here for your successors, for it is bound together inextricably with us. There is no sorcery, however, to prohibit you from spreading forth its teachings. We charge you to go forth and share what you have learned along your path. Reveal not the rites themselves, nor the existence of this book. Transcend its bounded limitations, for it cannot be transcribed. Any such attempts shall fail. Beware of those who would dare to read it on the other side. Under their guise of seeking wisdom may yet lurk a much darker desire to undo that which we strive to do. Off to bed? It's okay, I understand. It's late. I'm trying to figure out if there's a better time for me to stream somehow, some way. Oh, I got a berry? But in the meantime, thank you again. I hope you had a pleasant 2022, and if not, I hope you have a pleasanter 2023. I'm beating this tonight, no matter what. So hopefully that comes relatively soon, because it is getting a bit late as well. But starting next week on Monday, they've been okay. I'm still working the whole time because I don't have any vacation leave. So, but next week we're going on a bit of a vacation at the end of the week. So I'm streaming on Monday and Wednesday, and I'm starting Hollow Knight for the first time ever. So if you're into that sort of thing, that ought to be a fun and possibly long ride. But have a good night, and I will see you next time. Also, my voice, oof. This has been a lot of reading tonight. At dawn, your companions are prepared to depart. Everyone is silent. Your travels are to take you back to the spring of Jomuer, but soon after, the stars shall draw you here again. Whoosh! Friend sent me some magic cards for Christmas. Yeah, nice. I've been slacking. They added a card game to Genshin and I haven't even played it yet. I'll get there someday. A nip! Crush! I do have some friends that wanted me to start playing Magic with them again, so we'll see if I manage to do that. What's up, my alley? Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get there eventually. Possibly this weekend if I have time. Tomorrow we're doing all kid stuff all day though, because we've both been still working and they've been home from school and stuff. So this looks like a bowling ball. I thought you weren't here anymore. The spring of Jomuer has always flown forth from the crushed carapace of Bialanthias, the legend of whose demise is a rather sordid tale. Perhaps you have already read it in the book. Not all believe the book exists, of course, nor the greater titans, nor the rites. I have encountered exiles believing that this titan perished quite by accident rather than by a cunning trap laid for it by Jomuer Minimane. They took the titan for common beasts. Perhaps the stars shine down upon out-of-the-way locales such as this one to ensure that they alone shall witness the proceedings. Tune in for Hollow Knight. You curious but don't want to play? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do Hollow Knight, and then I'm not sure what's next, but it might be Hades. Not sure yet. But we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I also got Bloodborne. So we'll be getting to that at some point during the year. You sense the presence of your adversary, Sir Deluge, here and may learn his recent activity. Oh, okay. Or Falcon Ron may be passing through here with a special offer. Interesting, but don't really care, honestly. Scribe for information. Your senses guide you to a scrying pool somewhere in the dusty wastes of Gluehive, and you look upon the waters. Soon you experience a vision of Sir Deluge, who stood against Udmildhe and withdrawn in his most recent rite.
Did this knight just prevail against the withdrawn?
Ye interfere with the rebirth of Geschlach. Foolish.
Please, just don't be angry with this knight. This was an accident.
The vision fades. It seems the Pyrehearts prevailed against the withdrawn sometime not long ago, gaining the favor of the Scribes. You wonder where their paths have taken them since as you return to the Black Wagon to pursue your vocations. Interesting. Hi-ya! I would like to mentor... Who? You? Alright, what's your final ability do? Okay. Yours is still pretty far away, 2100. Your next skill is pretty good defensively. And your next skill is... quick jumps. How much do you need? 1655? I kind of like the quick jumps. Mentor May. Me? Oh, of course. Please tell me something I don't know, for there is lots of it. May gains a somewhat stronger grasp of how to better pass the celestial orb through strength of will and trust in one's triumvirate than through dexterity alone. She nods in understanding. Oh yeah. The orb is from the stars, I think? Or maybe even is one? That orb was chaos in that last match. Continue my journey. At dawn, Sir Gilman finds you shortly before the wagon is set to depart. Hark, Master Reader! This night he understands that we shall soon stand against the Pyrehearts and his former knight commander. This knight is eagerly awaiting the occasion. Rest assured, Sir Deluge shall see that our true strength lies in the bonds that have flourished between us. Sir Gilman rejoins the others in making final preparations for departure. As you prepare to set forth, you sense his mixed emotions about the coming rite. Let's roll with it. Page revealed the Spring of Jomuer. I oftentimes think the carapace of the hive titan Bealanthus shall be an everlasting blemish on an almost splendid bit of land, but Jomuer in his brashness felled the monster with a certain flair. Then the moon shone through the ridges of the massive carapace and shined upon the pooling ichor, turning it into the freshest nectar ever to be tasted. The spring shall flow eternally, and those who walk within it shall experience the resplendent glory of the land. The stars began to fall there in the spring with regularity, and we now know how soon again that they shall do so, and we wish for you to see it for yourself. Hello, Slug Market Man.
Guys, can't help but wondering whatever happened to that number with the wings. You know the one. I guess she's kind of pretty, maybe, I suppose?
True. Big true.
She's still around by any chance? Because, well, anyways.
No, she's not. She's gone. +5, +4, snuff. Downberry. This can be sold at Slug Market. Pick from the downside clinger plant, strangling the back wall of your wagon, used as a stress reliever. Well, you can have her plume now, for she is gone. would have this Stardust. And then I would... Oh, this thing doesn't, does it? Plus 75%? Oof. That's pretty powerful. Infinite stamina, also powerful. Plus 5 and plus 4. This needs 8. Plus 4 or 4.25. I'm gonna boost this, I think. And then
They're leaving, Dad. Just look at how much we got this time.
so weird. By now, having to make preparations for the rites has become second nature to your companions. They go about the process efficiently and, this time, in almost total silence. You cannot shake the sense that the routine shall not go on much longer. Sir Gilman approaches and confirms to you that the Nightwings' sigil is set. Everyone has their books and raiments, and the grounds are ready. Everything should be in order.
Well then, Master Reader, this night supposes we could while away these final precious moments prior to the rite by witnessing the stars parade about the glorious night sky. To think that this knight lives so much of his life utterly ignorant of the stars and their eternal beauty.
You and Sir Gilman stand together in silence for a time, looking for the stars above to show some indication that the rite is to commence. It is taking too long. Concern begins to well up in you, but then...
It seems the stars once more have mustered wherewithal to usher in the rites. The sky grows dimmer by the day. An age is ending. Surely you must know by now that you shall never all be free. Yet still you struggle to fulfill some senseless plan. But I digress, of course. Some of us still honor the tradition. Some of us hold dear the teachings of the Scribes.
The pyres on each side are burning bright. From across the field you observe the leader of the Pyrehearts approach and remove his mask.
You Nightwings are kind. We never should have bent our backs for the likes of you. This knight has no love of your accursed country anyway. This knight could simply swim back to the Sea of Solace wherever he so pleases. Perhaps he shall do exactly that once we are finished here.
Who shall it be this time? Bertrude. May. Sir Gilman.
If this shall be our final rite against the Pyrehearts, then let us conduct it with all due glory and more!
Pyrehearts, this might be our final battle, so this night he vows he shall not flee, not this time. Now, on guard!
Begin.
Ah, shite.
The Nightwings thus assert themselves. A rude predicament for the Pyrehearts. May douse the flame.
Yeah, she did. Oh.
How utterly brazen.
Unstoppable. Shoot.
That's it. Headlong goes Sir Gilman into flame.
Just make it quick and painless on this night, because this looks like it's over for us pretty much.
Yeah, it is.
Craven's Deluge, doubtless using exile as a means of shirking military service. And it is done.
Crushed them. They are truly.
Who prevailed?
You know who.
Alas, that their adversaries failed to stop them.
You are a jerk.
Right is done.
They are truly the worst group. Ye Pyrehearts, ye conducted here with such fury and such desperation that we must commend ye for it, despite the outcome which hath favored us.
The scribes, I knew that they would favor us, I think, although I hope that they show mercy to the Pyrehearts too.
This night declares the taste of victory is sweet indeed. We prevailed against a worthy foe.
Pyrehearts, perhaps we ought return now to the bottom of the Sea of Solace. These rites, this night, he thinks that we have learned enough.
The rites do tend to teach something of trust.
Blessed are the scribes whose eternal wisdom shines upon us through the stars and illuminates the path to our salvation. Wait, what did I just say? Why that was strange, but I feel so invigorated now.
Fast jumps.
Forever cursed is Kelma Rope Collar. Apparently, the exiled Bertrude is committed to the path.
This land, so rife with eldritch knowledge, long forbidden in the Commonwealth, we learn the stuff of fear itself.
I like this defensive. If they're ahead, they deal 10 less damage.
Now go and wallow in the downside for a while.
I don't know about that. Inside the wagon, after thwarting the Pyrehearts, May is discussing aspects of the outcome with the others when the lone minstrel seeks you out. Pardon the interruption, Rita, though I need to ask a moment of your time while the night is clear enough for you to see. Please come have a look outside. Perhaps the news of your next destination may further stir the hearts of your companions. Among what stars yet remain shining in the night, one of them now burns as bright as ever you have seen. The path to freedom calls to you again. Answer its call. The Accusers, huh? The golden star burns bright over the fall of Soliam. Lendel is already on his way. The Accusers are led by the nomad Lendel the Liar. Your record against them is 2-1. 70%. Pretty good. We are 19-4. The Accusers are 9-13. Chastity 9-12. Pyrehearts 5-18. Tempers 12-9. Withdrawn 10-10. Dissidents 16-7. They have like one of the best records, which is pretty sick. The Fate 5-12, and the damn ass Essence were 7-8. Well, they were actually 6-8, and they beat us. The cycle turns even more quickly now, until such time as it has shuddered to a halt. He makes a sound then, almost like a laugh. I forget myself, reader. I should not say such things. The scribes, they would say that one ought to focus on the path in front of them. When we set forth to walk a long and labored path, it can be all too much if we stand back and look upon it as a whole. We may well decide to turn around. But if we begin to walk whilst casting down our gaze, and whilst resisting the urge to look too far ahead, we may make steady, careful progress. That's how I live my life. Soon enough, we may arrive where we endeavored. The lone minstrel bids you a good evening. You had best retire for the night, for when first daylight comes, it shall be time again to take to the skies. This has got to be the last trip, right? Ah. Oh shit. What the fuck? You're ragging reels from the impact of some sort of massive object slamming into it mid-flight. False Nightwings. Hello, Chaz. How are you doing this evening? Did you change your name? Oralech calls down to all of you from atop his wagon. Again, you seek to climb that cursed mountain beneath us. Again, you seek to take my rightful place. I should send you crashing down to it, that you might fall, as I have. He stares down at all of you. But I shall not. Oh, okay. Was it not yours before? I thought it was. But I shall not. Rather, we shall meet upon the summit, ere the last cycle of the rites is ended. Until then. I thought this was last. Come here, you dick. It's all dark up there. Gilman gains favor. May gains favor. We well know how it was his, then he started streaming at me. Tyre. Oh, that makes so much sense. Well, congratulations. And I am pretty well. My voice is starting to fray to pieces. I thought this game was almost over at least 3 times already. You make landing on the sacred Mount Elodiel after you encounter with Oralech. Oralech spoke the truth. He has a right to gain the summit. When his time comes, Celeste shall deem him worthy and shall let him pass. While he has transgressed against the rites, he has also already been anointed and prevailed. Nothing is written in the book on this, and liberty art already be his. For the time, it seems that he has not yet traveled to the summit. Perhaps he is still making preparations with his fellow exiles. How's the being growing? Pretty well, pretty well. My wife is miserable. But, like, she partially feels cursed for saying how easy the first one was, and also just realizes that, well, we're old now. When exactly Oralech intends to make good on his promise, he did not make clear. For now, you're to confront Lendel and the Accusers upon the summit. But first, you may prepare. I seek the Scribe's favor. Later that afternoon, you accompany May through the great heights of Temple High Road to the monument of Luz Scalorian.
O scribes, if it truly is your will that the cycle of the rites shall soon be ended, then I look forward to its glorious conclusion. May the worthiest among us reap your generous blessings, and may we all, who are so fortunate to be a part of your traditions, bear you in our hearts forever. You return to the wagon after she has finished paying her respects. The summit awaits, but first, there's time to continue practicing your vocations. They gain +2 presence for the next rite. Nice, that'll be helpful. I would like to mentor a companion, but whom? You need 920 so we can max his level. You need 2100, so no, you need 2490. So we can max his level, but we're not bringing him. We're bringing May, we're bringing this dude, and we're bringing Hedwyn. So I guess we'll give you the boosty boost. Oh, it's down here.
I should be interested to see which lessons you had taken from the book. You and Volfred go over his understanding of his aura. An exile's wrongdoings manifest during the rites as an aura. Contact with an opposing exile's aura banishes the trespasser from this plane, and its connection to his presence, both physical and spiritual. The discussion proves informative. +1000. I always try to bear in mind that together our auras grow even stronger.
And even better, you can make a little sapling and then make its aura stronger. Pretty pog. But how have you been? What's been going on? How's the Genshin? Or anything else you might be playing? Or doing or reading? How was your year? Are you ready for a new year and hopeful that it's better? A messenger imp somehow tracks you down in the splendors of Mount Alodiel and delivers to you recent news and rumors from the other side. Specifically, the imp shares details regarding Pamitha and what became of her since she was liberated at the fall of Soliam. Oh yeah. I'm interested to see where this goes. That's why I freed her. She found herself back in the homeland of her enemies where, despite her connection to the Highwing remnants, her past transgressions were forgiven. In fact, she was asked to join the military council given her unique background. Yet, she refused to cooperate and instead demanded to be reunited with her sister, Tamitha. Yeah. But when they threatened her with a resentencing to exile and insisted that she take the opportunity, Pamitha said at last that she would think it over and return with a decision soon. Next she was seen, however, was among Volfred's sons and daughters of the Revolution, where it is said that she has attached her loyalty, at least for the time. You thank the imp for bringing you this news, which soon gets your companions talking. Shit. I wonder what I wonder where her sister is right now. I'm sure she cares for Pamitha. I'm sure of it. Been in a mental rut, so I haven't been playing Genshin, so I'm trying to speed run events. It's ending alright. I don't have any New Year birthday plans. You? Well, we were gonna go to our friend's house, but he got COVID over Christmas. And also, both of my kids and both of my in-laws all got some sort of pink eye. Which the kids mostly seem over now, but we would be at his house right now. So that was probably going to hold us back anyway. My wife and I didn't get it, thankfully. So instead, we stayed home. I'm streaming tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to do all-day kid stuff. So we're going to play board games and video games and do hobbies and crafts and stuff. Haul the bat out for me, yeah, hopefully. And just hang out with them all day. And then Sunday, probably more of the same, but also we have some projects to do around here that we'll do while we have a couple days off. And then I'm off work Monday. My wife will be working Monday, even though she's not supposed to, because we're leaving on the trip next week, so she's going to miss a day. So some hits, some misses. But overall, okay. And like I said, I'm going to finish this game tonight, and then I'm going to start playing Hollow Knight next week, and I'm real excited about it.
And if everybody's wrong, I'm going to tell them all that they're wrong. Even if it's good, I'm going to tell them it's not the best. I hope she and her sister get a chance to set things right between the two of them, or that she finds some peace some other way. I hold hope that both the Thane sisters one day soon shall join together as part of our good cause. The two of them can help lead us toward a brighter future. Yeah, that was my goal. I'm glad things are okay, Oral. Yeah. Can't complain.
Never once before had this night felt even a thing for our most bitter enemies, and yet, having known Pamitha proved eye-opening indeed for this night.
We suspect the ancient enmity between the winged and the flightless shall not be soon resolved, if ever at all.
In spite of some mixed feelings, the news of Pamitha's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with determination and resolve. You and your companions gain +1 hope for the next raid. Wish Pamitha luck. You're returned once more to Scribe's Gate, where the Gate Guardian awaits under a dim sky. The exiles of the Nightwings and you, Tariq. This is to be one of our final meetings. Greetings, Celeste. The Nightwings are prepared, and afterwards I would have words with you in private, if you please. It seems to me rather late for words now, Tariq, but I shall hear them once your charges cross the gate. Now, all of you, come forth. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. Once more your companions cross the gate, one after another, and once more you follow them in turn. Celeste regards you all, then waves you through toward the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. And Tariq? Aye, Celeste. You may rejoin the others in a while. For now, I would hear those words of yours. Certainly, Celeste. Everyone, I shall see you shortly.
The plains that sleep below, to the canyons open wide, hear the song of Jomuer, for the lost and lonesome.
Oh, hey, guys, it's getting real cold again up here, but it's worth it. Let me tell you, gotta love customers been stopping by. Okay, I may have been exaggerating just a little, since I have been waiting here a little while, yes, but are you buying anything?
And the canyons open wide, singing songs of gentle mourning for his lost and lonesome bride, for his lost and lonesome bride.
Oh yeah, the music's fantastic. This company, dang it, they're just crazy good at basically everything, but the music especially. Permanently gains +1 presence. Well, he's about to go away forever, so not him. She's really just a runner. I don't really use her to attack, so it's going to be her.
I appreciate you doing business. You guys be sure to tell your friends, okay?
Commence the liberation rite. The time has come again to deliver one of your fellow exiles to a homecoming in the Commonwealth, lest your adversaries, the Accusers, achieve the same instead. The lone minstrel has returned and approaches as you await the signal from the stars. There is something that I wish to ask you, reader, something which ordinarily would not be my place to discuss in any detail. You have observed the stars. If you would not mind my asking you in such a direct manner, how many liberation rites are you supposing yet remain? Have you deduced how many liberation rites are still to come? Is this the very last? Perhaps the lone minstrel asks the leading question to break the news that this is to be your final stand. 2 remain, including this one now. The rate at which the stars are vanishing and the cycle is hastening leads you to only one conclusion. You have not spared it any thought. The stars and future liberation rites be damned. What matters is what happens here and now. I was thinking this is the last one, but there could be one more. And because those other dudes haven't showed up yet, I'm going to assume that this is not the last one. You tell him the only logical deduction which you have been able to make based on all of your readings of the stars of late, that there shall be one final liberation rite after tonight. I concur with your evaluation, reader. I wish to make certain that you are aware, so that you and the Nightwings may yet make the most of your remaining time together thus. As to what shall happen once the final liberation rite is ended, we soon shall both find out. But lo, it seems that we are called upon once more. Look forth. Speaking of the music slapping, this like liberation rite theme, none of this. I'm here to win, not be challenged.
Reader, I would ask that you think back for just a moment, if you please. When you first looked upon the Book of Rites, think back upon the words that it revealed. Oblige the voice that tells you more. Oblige the voice that tells you more. Would that the scribes were here among us still. I would not sing your praises to them, rest assured.
Well, they wouldn't even acknowledge you because you're a dumb dick.
You shan't have to oblige me for much longer.
The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the Accusers, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respect you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Poised as ever, Lendel steps forward and reaches for his mask. I was branded Lendel the Liar. Once I reclaim my liberty, that name shall be forgotten, and my rightful station in the Commonwealth shall be restored. Nightwings, you may have prevailed against me when last we met here upon this sacred site, but the many years since have taught me much. I shall not fail again. Yet you still hold much resentment for your adversaries, is that not so, Lendel? Resentment is too kind a word for it. They are cheaters, one and all, unfairly favored by those scribes, while those such as myself must struggle endlessly for such a chance. Now come, my accusers, let us vanquish those undeserving oafs, and prove now to the scribes that they were fools to favor the likes of them. He dons his mask once more. I am ready. Nightwings, your choice in whose name shall you conduct the liberation rite. I wish you the wisdom of the scribes in making your choice, reader. And I wish you to come prepare our song with me, Tariq.
Whom shall you attempt to send home this time?
I already know. I just want to see what these guys have. Plus 35 Pyre. Still only 3 skills. Plus 6 damage. Oh yeah, they do big fucking damage. 34 damage. 36 damage if they have more Pyre power than me. So I have to make sure that... oh, they do at the start. So I have to change that quickly. It's you, Hedwyn. Could be anybody, really. Not these two, apparently. She's unworthy, but she's rank 4. I guess I can't. Just can't. But it's you. It's Hedwyn.
Hedwyn.
Another chance of freedom. Yeah, we failed last time.
Be at his side.
Volfred.
Volfred.
Let us this time send Hedwyn on his way. And May?
May.
Oh, then maybe this time?
It is done.
Come then, Nightwings, and look upon me one last time, for by dawn I shall be free while you all wallow in this terrible defeat you have in store for you.
Commence.
Ha! Whoa! Get it? Whoop! Oh god. Too fast. Alright, they don't have the bonus damage anymore, so that's good. Haha, just jumped right over his ass. Get wrecked, nerd! Now, Accusers, grant me your auras and your anger that we may finally secure our rightful victory against these demons whom we face. He is channeling the auras of his triumvirate and their strength combines with his. This must be the Aura Gain? A secret technique developed by the Accusers to ensure their victory in liberation rites. Shit. Ah. Whoop. Oh, fuck's sake. Boom! Get it, get it, get it, get it. Shit! Shit! Ah! I can't believe I landed in there. Yeah, this song's real good. So that's the two people that I was just reading for, the two minstrels. They're the ones singing this. Took me several rites to realize that.
That was the last of them. Yes.
Oh, I had a chance to throw it in. I should have thrown it in that time. Oh well.
Didn't see it
Ow.
coming.
Oh, no, you don't. Nope. Fuck.
Lendel plunged into your fire.
Cheating ass.
Poof. Unfortunate for the Accusers. Cast from afar into the Pyre's flame.
Which means I don't lose him for the next challenge, which is also something that took me a while to learn.
Now then.
Oh, shit. Ah! What? Oh, fuck. Get it? Ah.
That would be rather angry.
Whew. Ow.
Alas for Hedwyn.
Huh?
Seize the orb.
I'm fucking trying. Shit.
Careless.
Oh my god.
Glorious.
Go. Explosion. Oh my god, get fucked. Oh, I caught it! Damn, I didn't even know you could do that. Go!
And there it is at last. The blasted Nightwings proved their worth. As for their adversaries, they did not.
Whew.
Thus ends the liberation rite.
I was never in super big danger, but it was still stressful.
The scribes have chosen. The exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free.
The most worthy of us all.
Of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. His adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
Blast you, Nightwings! Again, you cheated me. Have you no pride at all in this tradition? How did I cheat? Go fuck yourself. How about that? We did it. Then, I guess that means I have to go. I broke my vow to them that we would all go free together. Reader, my friend, why would you do this? Will you ever forgive me? Yes, of course, of course. You deserve it. Get out there. Succeed the plan. Get us, the rest of us, out. Fikani, wait for me. Wait for me. He remained silent for a moment longer, then, listen to me, all of you. I will not forget this. If there is anything at all that I can do back on the other side to help the rest of you, then I am going to find it, and I am going to do it. And at the very least, I will do everything I can to make sure that by the time more of you come join me back at home, that it'll be a better place for all of us. Look, I don't have long now, so just thank you, all of you. I won't forget this. Then he plunges out of sight into the shimmer pool. His old voice is audible but growing faint. It's happening. Goodbye, my friends. Reader, everyone. Goodbye. Until we see each other. Hedwyn earned back his freedom, set to return to the Commonwealth and leave the downside forever. May he return
Godspeed, Hedwyn.
in glory.
The cycle of the rites is nearly at an end.
May cannot rise in rank. Oh, come on. We only have 4 left, I think, right? No, 5 left. No, 4. 4 left. You prevailed in the liberation against the Accusers. Already does the Black Wagon feel quieter than usual without Hedwyn. He was the first friendly face you encountered in the downside. He has regained his freedom in the Liberation Rite, who returned to the Commonwealth. You overhear some of your companions reflecting on this. It never grows easier having to say farewell to one of our own. The scribes will see his safe return. You wonder who, if anyone among you, shall be the next to go. The last light of the stars still shines for us above. At this point, what is to become of our plan, 78%, needn't be the subject of our speculation. I trust that we'll learn the outcome soon enough. Our actions to this point shall pave the way, perhaps our faith as well. So let's for now focus on this. We stand upon the brink of the last turn of the cycle of the rites. Soon we'll have a final chance to get one of you home. Now, reader, up for a little stargazing. Let's see where in the downside we shall be returning for these final rites. You turn back toward the darkness to look upon the last few stars too stubborn to relinquish their light. The scribe stars yet burn for you atop the sacred mountain. Haub, Gol, yeah, they're kind of chomping away at the remaining stars. Titans. Gol, the South Star. The South Star burns bright over the ridge of Gol. Tempers or Haub. Dalbert Oldheart, or the Tempers. The Chastity, huh? Or the Pyre. It could be the Pyrehearts. That would be hilarious. Well, I don't want to rub poor Dalbert's face in it anymore, so the Tempers it is. Once more, you are to face the Tempers then, although I wonder. He hesitates before saying anything further. You cannot sense his thoughts. I apologize. I was lost in thought there for a moment. Let us make way for the Ridge of Gol when everyone is feeling more refreshed as much as possible. I have a chatterer. Volfred. Following Hedwyn's liberation, you find Volfred smoking at his pipe, his eyes averted. He looks up and smiles as you approach. Hello, my kin. Excellent work back there. Thank you for your perseverance. Though, I was just reflecting on how very fortunate I've been in all of this. Not just me, but really all of us who had a chance to stand with Hedwyn here. Ours is admittedly a somewhat desperate plan. It was vital to me, should the Nightwings rise again, that it be under proper care and guidance. I was just thinking how well Hedwyn served in that capacity. Whatever is to be the outcome of all this, no doubt his presence shall be missed. My agents and I, we were unsure of him at first, a common boy like that, completely unacquainted with the rites. But in the end, I felt that he was worth a shot, someone like him, sincere, determined, with loyal friends and desperate to get home. Those qualities spoke volumes. And then he falls silent for a time. I have every faith that he shall strive on our behalf now in the Commonwealth, and it is my hope that he yet finds the one he sought. You and Volfred speak little more of Hedwyn for now. You are left wondering what shall become of him in the Commonwealth. We'll pass us for cooking supplies here. Hedwyn used to do most of the cooking, but now liberated. Jody's fashioned from a howler's hide sends their ilk a clear message while reminding you of Jodariel. Enshrined by the other drive imps. Pamitha's moonshine. On legacy, reader, though you shall always bear a burden, it is much lighter than the burden of a lonesome exile. Go forth and become free. Then join with others such as you and lead with mercy, continuing to demonstrate your worth and knowing that the Empire's fall formed the foundation of our Commonwealth. You shall cease to be a reader and become a voice both to the free and to your successors here, who shall take up this book when you no longer need it. The cycle of the Rites shall see to it that you and others like you shall be liberated, ere the coming of another age. May the stars shine ever brightly on us all. Interesting. So I do get to go free. It is daybreak. You are to set forth now for the Ridge of Gold, for what appears to be the final time. Thereafter you shall return here for one last exile's final chance at liberty. I was hoping there'd be an achievement for crushing those imps out of midair, but I haven't gotten one yet, and I've smashed a bunch of them. Smash. How dare you, you Nightwing scum! You blasted fools, you cannot intimidate the Accusers. We shall face you soon enough in a forthcoming Rite, but first, we have another pack of fools whom we must vanquish shortly. Until then, stay out of our way. Get wrecked, little shit. Pyrehearts! Smash.
Oh no, not you again! This is really going to hurt again, isn't it? Just leave this wretched knight alone in peace. He wants nothing more to do with you, so go away!
Bullied that poor guy. Kind of feel bad about that one. There's the ridge, the blooming pool. Sir Gilman thinks you shall be the quickest route, leaving you time for your vocations or the hollow route. May suggests this route looks clear, so you should have time to pursue your vocations. Explore the hollow route. You meet up with May, who suggested you go ranging with her through hollow route. Oh, I really enjoy these walks, so can we go now? Together you set out to explore the rolling hills around the Black Wagon. You find little to speak of other than desolation typical of the downside. I think I've seen enough, and I think I'm beginning to miss the others. You and May will make your way back to the wagon. Though unsuccessful, your search helped ease the burden weighing on you and leaves you with time to pursue your vocations. Okay, what's everybody's level looking like? You're maxed. You need 920, so I could max you with a thing. You need 100, so you could max off anything. You need 2490, so you would need to get a vocation and win and something else to get maxed out. But the vocations don't really seem necessary, honestly. So let's forage for resources. Brush huts. You sense a mystical artifact here. Sometimes when such residences are abandoned in haste, small valuables remain. Or formations. You sense traces of celestial residue here, sturdy crystalline growths that formed ages ago, containing boundless riches no one can extract. That's the same thing as getting the experience on the other side. Give me this, I guess. Frozen Soul. At the start of the raid, the adversary's pyre automatically suffers 5 damage. Wow. The Ridge of Gold. Oh, I was checking to see who I'm going to face again in the finals. But it's going to be the damn... my counterparts.
Hey guys, say, what are you guys doing all the way back here? You know it's not so bad here. I was thinking and I got some pretty good stuff. I think you ought to check it out.
Stardust plus 10. Holy shite. Well, I certainly don't want this piece of garbage. So go ahead and take that. Oh, man. You can have this too, I suppose. 20, 20, paired, 20. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2.
Thanks, guys. Good luck in that thing you're going to tonight.
Commence the rites. After making all the necessary preparations amid the untamed reaches of the Ridge of Gold, you and your companions await the commencement of the rites. It is quieter even than usual at the onset of such events. The lone minstrel appears bearing some sort of news. I have checked, and it appears as though the Tempers have not yet arrived, reader. There is no sign of Ignarius or anyone. Their sigil is not set either. If what he says is true and your adversaries are not present, then you presume the rite cannot commence. However, the stars themselves soon indicate you are mistaken. Who's Oscar? Mine? Oh, Lord. I'm just having a good old time with all these characters.
The Commonwealth, your home. Today it is aflame. Much like a stack of books. Aflame because of you. Because of your outlandish plan. Not that you care. Not that you shall live to see this place again.
The fuck's that
Your
mean?
attempts at revolution shan't succeed.
You are
So
wrong,
by all means, keep trying.
and you are a dick.
As for myself, I shall enjoy presiding over these remaining rites.
The rite is set to commence, but your adversaries, they have failed to show.
We take this for an act of acceptance rather than cowardice. 'Twould seem the rites have nothing left to offer them.
Indeed, as the rites are drawing to a close, some of the triumvirates whom you have met, perhaps they are beginning to decide the stars are not worth heeding any longer. Yeah, they're not even close to high enough on the chart to get into the finals, and they only gain like 1 or 2 for win. Like you would, it should move around more. I think like the ones who we fought in the finals before should never get back. They should have a shot, but they don't. So why even fight? Ignarius, you wonder whether he would give up on the rites like that. He did seem rather disaffected, having failed in the liberation rite before. Perhaps he did finally decide to quit for good. In any case, we have begun the ceremony here, and so I ask that we end it.
Choose now your band of traitors. Bertrude. Nay. Sir Gilman. Predictably decided.
This cannot possibly be honorable, can it?
Lo, even your adversaries have abandoned you. And it is done. The Nightwings prevail by default. Not that their adversaries even care.
That's kind of sad, actually.
'Twas time we wasted here. Although our kind, we live for very, very long.
Boundless are the teachings of the Scribes. Until the next rite, if there even is to be another one.
No one speaks further of the tempers back at the Black Wagon. Everyone is instead preoccupied with the rite that is to come. Is it true then? This is going to be our last chance to go home? I'm afraid so. Our plan is an imperfect one, yet here we are, faced with this vital opportunity. He looks over to you. Reader, my kin, please go see for yourself. I think we all know where we are headed next, and I suspect I know whom we shall face when we arrive. The others turn to you as well. You turn toward the wagon's door. You know what you shall see out there. Now, however, the time has come to face it. The din and fading light of the final star still pierces through the darkness, demanding your attention, guiding you toward the endpoint of your path. You see plain the golden star of Soliam. Look upon it for the last. Oh dang. Can't even see where the fuck we are. It's so engulfed by these titan stars. Bunch of dicks. The true Nightwings are led by the demon Oralech. Your record against them is 0-1. The only ones I've ever had a losing record against. All the other ones I was like 2-0 or 1-0 and I lost to them, so I've only ever been even or better. You are summoned to the fall of Soliam for your 7th and final liberation rite. Thus shall the cycle of the rites be ended for an age. You sense that if the rites ever shall commence again, it shall not be during your lifetime, or that of any of your companions, even the longest-lived ones. The stars revealed to you one thing more. The adversary whom you shall face shall be Oralech. Already he has crossed Scribe's gate and awaits your arrival. If the 8 scribes created the Nightwings in their own likeness, perhaps it is only fitting that the Nightwings should, in the end, be forced to face themselves. Oralech, curse this damnable cycle, that it must pit us against him in this, our final chance. Let us retire for the night. We shall not have many chances more for rest before our journey's ended. The group disperses as exhaustion sets in. At dawn, you fly to Mount Elodiel to make a final effort to achieve your plan to get somebody home. But who? Page revealed the Tempers. The Tempers, in the words of Haub the Swallow, the Accursed. Myr, the Horned One, formed the Tempers upon his own ideals. Ingrained in this triumvirate are basic truths about the dual roles of strength and gentleness. The Horned One, he has had a dualistic nature for as long as he and I consider each a friend. The stories I am told about Myr's youth describe no one I know. All of us are capable of more. I once was an imp that could not write. Myr was once a man that could not think. The Tempers once were ordinary folk. Now they rise to greatness, always striving, never overreaching. They are not like Myr himself. Rather, they are what Myr wished he could be. How many of those berries have I left on that bush unharvested?
Foolish reader. Your so-called friends. You are accomplice to their hateful plot. They are exploiting you. You shall never have your freedom.
Maybe not, but maybe I will. By dawn, you are already up and about after a troubled slender. The Black Wagon is prepared for its final voyage to the fall of Soliam. No one speaks. As you lift into the skies, the lone minstrel raises his voice, cutting through the somber mood. Reader, a certain olden ballad comes to mind just now. I think it may befit the circumstance. Perhaps it may help to pass the time along our flight. Would you mind it very much if I were to play this song for the Nightwings? The lone minstrel wishes to play his ballad by your leave. Abso-fucking-lutely. A song from the lone minstrel may help lift the spirits of your companions in this vital time. This, your final voyage towards a chance at freedom, is a time for quiet contemplation. No. You urge the lone minstrel to play his ballad so that all among you might hear it. He begins without another word.
When the stars align, the rites shall come to bear. Illuminate the signs, the exiles shall be there. All are not the same, but three shall be as one. Freedom in the flame, the end has just begun. Strands may break our own, but twisted make a braid. Together on their own, the journey shall be made. The journey shall be made.
That both filled and hurt my heart. The temple cistern, Sir Gilman will gain favor, or the temple high road, Bertrude will gain favor. I think I need to send home whatever his name, Volfred. And if not him, then May. But who's my other party member going to be? Bertrude's pretty fucking good, man. She can like wipe out big swaths of them at one go. He's good. I like him a lot. He's super fast, but he's not really going to be good at attacking these dudes. Heads or tails? Touchdown amid the narrow passageways of Mount Elodiel to make pilgrimage to the summit for one last time. There, one last liberation rite shall soon commence. There, one last exile shall regain his or her freedom. All others shall remain to carry out their sentences here in the downside for the remainder of their lives. And in the Commonwealth, the plan of which you are a part shall either come to fruition or shall be suppressed. 81% chance of success at the moment. Seek the Scribe's favor. After having landed, you join Bertrude on an expedition to the monument of Jomuer for what is likely to be the final time. We beseech ye, ancient gods of the last stage, and we invoke thine aid. We have traveled far to gain this summit, many times, and stood steadfast with our compatriots who seek to leave this place. We now offer ye our services eternally, if you would grant us such a boon as to ensure our triumph in the coming night. Long would we serve ye, O ancient gods, should ye accept our offer, here and now. Soon she is finished. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Jomuer has shown you favor. At dawn, you shall begin your last ascent. For now, your vocations may occupy what little time you have to spare. +2 presents for the next rite. You approach Bertrude just as she has finished polishing the various bottles, flasks, and vials that your fellow exiled have collected during your travels through the downside. The evidence of thy travails, how brazenly ye put them on display. Ye tempt these lands to swallow ye. She lets out a long breath. Nonetheless, these trinkets stir our memories, not merely of these lands, but of the country whence we came. Know, reading one, that we are here because of Sandalwood. We met him long ago within the southern bogs. He offered many courtesies, and in exchange we found agreeable. We sought then certain reagents, necessary to our studies of the heavens and the earth. And he knew where to procure them. In exchange, we were to boil for him our finest inks, a certain recipe, notorious yet secret. Its stain could never be removed. Oh, but the Commonwealth misliked it. 'Twas when we first began collecting samples of the regions of the downside, for Sandalwood was ever true to his word. Long had we studied this accursed place, Black Basin, the chaos of the deathless tempest, the richness of the bogs of flagging hands. Lands so far away, and yet they called to us. If molten Udmildhe was able to traverse the downside in its entirety an age ago, then surely 'twas not beyond reckoning that we could do the same. Furthermore... But she hesitates. It matters not, reading one. Thou hast indulged our tales long enough for now. She slithers away without further explanation. She seems reluctant to discuss the circumstances of her past with Volfred, yet you sense that she is here by choice. Roster bio updated for Bertrude. Bog Dweller, feud 21 years. Complex to the stamping press. You need 920. You need 100. You need 2490. So what do you get? If you kill him, get plus 10 damage. Good, but he might not even come on the thing. You get slow them if we get effed up, and you get cast faster. No, you don't get anything because it's way much. So it is Mentor the man. You ask Volfred to explain to you in his own words the histories of the 8 scribes and speak to how their varied backgrounds form the basis not just of the Rites but of the Commonwealth. It is possible our plan shall not succeed despite our fiercest efforts here and in the Commonwealth, but I know for certain that our efforts shall not be in vain. We learn and strive together, and we prevail or we fail together. On this path we share. It has been and shall continue to be my greatest honor. I sometimes fear the spirit of the teachings of the scribes is already long forgotten back where we came from. Certainly seems that way. To the scribes' gates! Here in the solemn beauty of Mount Elodiel, you encounter a messenger imp come to deliver news and rumors from the other side. The news this time pertains to Hedwyn, whom you liberated at the fall of Soliam. You learn Hedwyn returned safely to the Commonwealth, where he was clothed and welcome, his past transgressions all forgiven. He was to be groomed for a leadership position of his choice, whether on the council or the blood border, each equally as lucrative and secretive as well. However, he refused, and before the stunned council members could do anything about it, he left them. He's since made contact with Volfred's agents and is working together with them. Thus the ranks of the revolution grow stronger. Per the messenger of custom, the last part of the message was transcribed from Hedwyn, word for word, and he says, "Keep going. I'll see you here." You thank the messenger imp for relaying this information. Soon your companions are all abuzz about it.
A glorious example Hedwyn sets for all of us.
I always thought Hedwyn was looking for someone out there back home. Do you think he found her?
Well done, Hedwyn, my boy. I knew you could do it.
May our remembrance of the boy's great spirit spur us on to further victory.
The news of Hedwyn's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound determination resolve. You and your companions gain +1 hope for the next rite. Wish Hedwyn luck. You stand before the Scribe's gate with your companions. The gate guardian is there, as ever, but you sense something different in her.
The exiles of the Nightwings, we shall not meet again after the coming rite. Tariq and I, it shall be time we take our rest, I think.
Greetings, Celeste. I would tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I am uncertain anyone amongst us feels thus.
We have a duty to uphold, Tariq.
And then what, Celeste?
And then, nothing. Not for the rites or us. Not till the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwings, step forward. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's gate.
One by one, your fellow exiles approach her, now with sureness in their step. If I may, my name is Volfred Sandalwood. I long as yet to see an age where freedom is one's birthright, and no longer are good people such as these forced to contend for it.
Oh, my name is May, and I'm here because the Scribes, this is the path that they have shown me, and all of us. I like it when they call to me. We are called Big Bertrude. We seek to fulfill the plan of Sandalwood, for we are fond of him and his beliefs, and then to go about our business.
Sir Gilman of the Sea Dominion, at your service. This night's never-ending quest for honor shan't end here, yet first he has a noble duty to uphold.
Finally, you step forth once more, you, a crippled scholar who vowed to help their friends be free again, and who managed to come this far with this group. The gate guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway toward the summit.
The 8 Scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except for you, Tariq. You stay right there.
I thought you said...
The rites are not yet ended, Tariq.
He looks at her, then over to the rest of you. Pardon me, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align. The gate guardian and the lone minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart. You have gained the summit of Mount Elodiel for the 7th time, the final time in which any one of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. The Beyonder Crystal seeks me. Seeks me?
Thank you for visiting on such short notice, reader. I understand you have important matters to attend to. So let me be blunt. Please listen for a moment then. I know this whole affair is coming to an end. All of it. I sense the binds that form the rites becoming weak. Which means soon you will not need me anymore. Not that you have needed me at any point, but still, my services will not be of any further use. I would love to tell you that this means I shall be free from my eternal prison.
For some of my Beyonders it shall be a release. My accomplices are bound by weaker words than those which have bound me. They shall fade away, I think, and finally rest. I, however, shall remain. She hesitates for a moment. Thus I have a proposition for you. I do not know where you shall go from here, but I ask you to take me there, wherever it shall be. By that I mean, take this stone prison of mine and keep it. Do not just leave it as all your predecessors have, each time their stay among the Nightwings reached an end. Soon the Beyonder crystal shall serve no use at all, except to keep me trapped. I am content to remain thus, for I have little choice, but I would prefer to do so in your company. For I do enjoy your company, Rita. This may not be much of a compliment, but I assure you that I much prefer your company to an eternity of solitude. I have no wish to see you gain in years, and to eventually decay whilst I remain unchanging. But I should rather have more years whilst having contact. Even if those years are to be brief, they shall afford me many more in which I might think back upon our times. Nor do I expect you to accommodate my needs, for I am well aware I have my limits in accommodating yours. That is to say, I wish you to go forth after this night and live your life however you see fit, for your own sake. May all this Rites business enrich your coming days, somehow. And in considering that life after this night, if you think that there may be a place in it for me, however small, then, once again, I simply ask that you take me along. That way, should you ever wish to visit me again sometime, you could, and I would like to have that as an option more than not. My request here is a selfish one, for there is little I can offer in exchange, other than what little my companionship is worth. Perhaps I could lull you to sleep once in a while. Who knows? You could always try to sell the Beyonder crystal for a reasonable sum somewhere, or something to that end. There must be someone out there with an interest in this thing. I have an interest in it. So then, you have heard my sad little proposition. What do you say? Agree and do it. Why not? Sandra has proven to be a kindred spirit. You would rather not part ways with her. Decline with all respect. The Beyonder crystal is not your property, nor is Sandra's penance your responsibility. Nah, fuck that. Mine. You grasp the Beyonder crystal and set it into the folds of your clothing. Sandra senses this and makes a sound as though surprised. Thank you, reader. Are you tricking me? Better not be. She is at a loss for a moment, then... Let us go, then, from this place. Go and face your last remaining adversaries. May you crush them under heel and achieve the outcome which you seek. I believe you shall prevail. She disappears into the stone for now. You took the Beyonder crystal with you. Keep it with you.
Hey guys, I guess you probably heard the big news, huh? Yeah, I'm going out of business here, I guess. Just hasn't been the same, you know, what with the stars all fading out and stuff. Anyways, just wanted to say, you guys are great. I'm sure gonna miss having you guys as customers and all that. But I got some good news too, though. All my stuff is on sale now, and I will throw a little extra there just for you, okay? So, enjoy, and maybe I'll be seeing you guys around, okay?
Henceforth, all of Falcon Ron goods are 5% off. Great. Plus 20. Wowee. May as well buy some of these, right? I guess it's worth it to see if it works twice.
Must be our lucky day here, or I don't know what, Dad.
You have gained the summit of Mount Elodiel for the 7th time. Very few stars remain above to light your way as you await the commencement of the final liberation rite. The lone minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there, perhaps, some bit of wisdom that has eluded you thus far. Rita, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I am grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well this night and always. Go forth with glory. Then he looks up and extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. You see May has joined you. All of your companions are there with her, in fact.
Oh, hi, Reader. The others, they said they wanted me to join them and come talk to you, so here I am. The scribes are watching us.
It is strange for me to say, given the circumstances of our meeting, Reader, but it has truly been a pleasure. Onward now, let us achieve our plan.
Master Reader, it has been this night's greatest honor to have served with you. Let this be our most glorious stand yet.
Reading one, thou art both wiser and less irritating than most others of your kind. We have learned something from thee, and we are grateful.
You look upon your fellow exiles. Your companions, with whom you have withstood the downside, and with whom you shall now conduct this final rite. Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon. He departs. After this night, the outcome of Volfred's plan, the plan of which you all have been a part, shall be decided, one way or another. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversaries, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles as the last remaining stars ignite. The final liberation rite of this age shall now commence. Mere distance cannot separate our spirits. Activate all 12! No. Having come this far, you need but take the final steps upon your quest for freedom.
Look, for one last time, upon the fall of Soliam, dear reader. Hear me for one last time. For soon, the few remaining stars shall fade away, leaving you stranded there for your remaining days in that forsaken land where you deserve to be.
You just keep thinking that, buddy.
The rabble that you roused here in the Commonwealth shall be put down. The exiles whom you liberated, all shall fall in line. But first, let us get on with this last liberation rite. You face none other than yourselves. Each so unlike the glorious Nightwings of yore. 'Tis a shame that one of you shall soon be free, for you deserve each other.
The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirants is present and prepared. But before the lone minstrel can concur as per the custom, not another word. The demon Oralech slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask. The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I awaited this. My freedom once was stolen from me. Then I was cheated of it here upon this mountaintop. You may now attempt to take it from me once more. He stands there for a moment, silent. Then Oralech dons his mask and stands prepared. May these damned rites cease forever for the misery which they caused.
Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of the rites is all but ended. Thus, I would have your decision. On whose behalf shall you conduct this final liberation rite? The one whom you anoint, or else the exile Oralech shall be returned.
Godspeed, reader. You know what is at stake better than I. I have utmost faith in you to make the best decision and conduct this rite with glory.
Nightwings, the star's remaining light grows dim. Your decision, please.
It is now time to choose who, if anyone among you, shall go free this one last time. The rest of you shall remain in the downside to the end of your days. One by one, you meet the gazes of each of your fellow exiles. Sir Gilman, May, Volfred, Bertrude. You fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together you have come this far, but now the downside and the rites conspire to tear your group apart and disrupt your plan. Are you prepared to choose this one last time? Yes, for there is no turning back. The fate of your friends in the Commonwealth may hinge on the decision you are about to make. No, the pressure is too great. It seems both cruel and unfair to have to make such a decision. Is there no other way? I don't think there is another way. It is cruel and unfair, but it always has been. Even before we knew the rites were ending. I'm gonna choose this one. The idea is the plan succeeds and they overthrow the Commonwealth, and then they can just get people out without having to do this. That basically ends the downside's exile clause. With but a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you know what to do.
One final opportunity for salvation. Too bad for the rest of you.
18 years he's been here. Plus 40 Pyre. Yikes. When he salutes, he gets 10 extra damage. After using his rush, he can rush again. When landing from a jump, he briefly stuns nearby. Yeah. Can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them. Okay. After being banished, chance to return immediately. Plus 4 quickness. Brief charge up before he can cast is reduced. Flings the orb farther and faster. Grasping the orb, Gareth sprints and jumps without using stamina. Brief charge up time before Gareth jumps or who sprints is virtually eliminated. Okay. So he's a May. Implode, it returns much faster. When fluttering or zipping, moves much faster. And Implode can banish adversaries in a much wider area. Great. Unworthy. He has the most chance of getting the plan to succeed, I feel like. May, I'm sorry.
Volfred.
Long have I dreamt that I might someday see this plan of ours come to fruition. I promise you that I shall make the most of it if we are to prevail. Your choice is cast. As for your other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. They stand ready to support Volfred as well as you.
Who shall be at his side? May.
Blessed are the scribes who grant me and all of us this final chance, that we may free our dear friend Volfred.
Bertrude.
Thy will is ours, reading one. Let the remaining stars shed their last light upon our ceremony here.
So we could have freed one more person, so we would only have 3 available.
Very well.
Those are to be my adversaries, then. And who is it, I wonder, who asserts their will over that group? You sense Oralech searching for you, almost reaching out to you. You are the shadow of the false Nightwings. They are nothing to me, but you who would relinquish your own liberty for the sake of them? Strange. It is fitting, then, that I should have to face one such as you. Then Oralech stands at the ready, signaling for his 2 allies to do the same. By light of dawn, the cycle of the rites shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time. The sky above begins to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence. Tariq? Aye, I am prepared, Celeste. Then let our song this evening shake the stars themselves. Aye, Celeste, let us make sure of it. Ah, fuck.
The final chance at liberation of the age.
No! Ah, fuck. Got him. Dang, I should have flung it. I had the chance. You wear the raiments once again. I could not simply stand by and do nothing, Oralech. Yet that is what you did. When last we stood together on this blasted mountain, I fell. You simply stood. Oralech, what shall it take for you to be convinced I took no part in your betrayal? Oralech seems to consider the question, but only for a moment. Give me my damn freedom. Let me prevail, here and now. Would you promise to uphold our plan? Oralech and Volfred dream to one day see the Commonwealth turn to a surer course. We shall stand together, shoulder to shoulder, as the scribes themselves once stood, Volfred to Oralech, to bring about a better Commonwealth? No, I make no promises. I owe you nothing. Then I am sorry, Oralech. My love of country becomes before all else. More than your freedom and our friendship is at stake. Your love be damned, Volfred. Let us stand as adversaries then. Dang. Shit. Gotcha. They're slowed. They can't use abilities. Come on. Come on.
That one almost got through. Poor little girl.
Haha, so close. Oh no, you don't.
I say.
What the fuck? Ow.
Orbs unclaimed again. It was almost cool. Quite foul for the Nightwings.
Thanks.
Their flame has died a little.
The sky rains ash. Soon shall your pyres own mingle with them. Just then the skies above begin to rain down fire, the final throes of the cycle of the rites, and the ending of the age. Okay. Ow.
Oh, you poor Nightwings.
What the fuck?
He has changed, that Oralech. Grown old and bitter all these many years. Volfred banished. There.
Ah, fuck. Ah, fuck. No. Oh. What the fuck? Ah. What? Ah, fuck. I was trying to throw it in, but they would not give me the chance, so I'm just plunging while I can, man. Ah, fuck. Yes. Got it. Oh, what are you doing? Ah. fuck. Nope, nope, that's not good. Ah! Yeet! Perfect. So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But that cannot be your finest effort. You think you deserve your freedom more than I? Then fight for it, damn you.
So much for Volfred. In the name of Soliam.
Can't believe I made that. Oralech stands, breathing heavily. He looks back on the thin lick of flame that is his smoldering pyre, before turning his attention back to your triumvirate. Oh! Cheaters!
Punishment for all. There it is, at last. The Nightwings proved their worth. Their
Got an achievement.
adversaries they defeated utterly.
Sure did.
Thus ends the Liberation Rite.
May was a murder machine on that last
The
one.
scribes
Damn.
have chosen.
She just ran up there like zap, zap, zap. Praise the scribes, we've done it. You look upon Volfred from what you expect shall be the last time you see each other. Any moment now, the Shimmer Pool shall engulf him. Any moment now, he shall return to glory and join his agents in the Commonwealth to help achieve the plan. Any moment now, the cycle of the Rite shall end until at least the dawn of a new age. Any moment now.
And thus the scribes have chosen. And thus the scribes have chosen. And thus the scribes have chosen. No. Nightwings. Reader. What have you done?
I don't know. Hold. There's something wrong. Each prior time upon the fall of Soliam, the Shimmer Pool has opened, following the Liberation Rite, and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now all is still, and the light of the stars above has all but died. You sense a growing fear that it is already too late, that the Shimmer Pool shall not reveal itself again. Oralech approaches, his head bowed. The 8 scribes have saved their greatest treachery for last. Then something else catches his notice. Wait. A sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. The Shimmer Pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. Volfred looks upon it, but it does not engulf him, or at least not yet. It seems I was mistaken then. The 8 scribes, this is not their greatest treachery. It is their greatest jest. The Shimmer Pool is flung wide open. It seems that all are worthy now of freedom. Let's fucking go! Oralech strides toward the Shimmer Pool, but... Halt, Oralech. Oralech glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise. The Shimmer Pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside, and you shall surely drown. Of that I can assure you. He laughs to himself at this. Then we have all been cheated. No, the Shimmer Pool is revealed, and one of you may still return as planned. But as for who returns, someone shall have to choose. Ere the last light of the stars is extinguished and the rites cease to be, this is the final trial of the scribes. The final trial of the scribes. Then, our confrontation, the liberation rite, it was all meaningless? No, the victor of the confrontation is to be the one to make the choice among those closest to the scribes, either the anointed or they who anointed them. So then the choice is mine to make. My freedom, raid against the readers, is that it? Aye, it shall be either you or the reader, or... It shall be either or. Volfred, please, make your decision quickly, lest it shall be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift. A snap decision then. Fine, I have it made. Reader, my kin, this chance of freedom that we've earned, it's yours. Take it now, and make good use of it for you and all of us. Volfred wishes to give up his freedom so that you may regain yours. Very well. Reader, the choice was that which Volfred made, or rather the choice which he gave. It is now yours to make instead. This choice, it may keep bouncing back and forth like this? Absurd. It may, until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden and outcome of the choice. That is the trial, and I fear that there is little time remaining now. Reader, if you and your companion are too cordial with each other to accept that freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought to be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange. Reader, what is your will? Oh, fuck! Choose myself. This is your chance, and Volfred wished that you should take it. Choose Volfred. Your intention last night was for him to return to glory, and it shall be done. Choose Oralech. He earned his rightful freedom long ago. He deserves his justice. Oh, man. He did earn it. But he said he wouldn't help with the plan. But I bet if I freed him, he would. I bet he would be a good guy. Volfred, this was his plan all along. Like, does he necessarily deserve to go free for it because of it? No, but I mean, if he frees everyone in the Commonwealth, then yeah, he definitely deserves it. And then me, like, obviously I want to choose myself. But, like, this whole journey has been about being selfless and about letting your friends go free and, like, helping them in their time of need. It's been about getting justice, right? Like, stopping the unwarranted exiling of people. And what greater justice is there than your thoughts crystallize. You have chosen Oralech. What? Oralech, do you accept the reader's choice, or shall you make another? No, I shall not make another. I accept the reader's choice, the reader's mercy. Then it is done. For a moment, Oralech appears to be at peace, and then he is gone. Oralech regained his freedom, is set to return to the Commonwealth, and left the downside forever. Accept this, for it is done.
Godspeed, Oralech. By the scribes. No stars that remain. 9 aloft. The cycle of the Rites. 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 The cycle It is finished. The Commonwealth. What shall become of it? What shall become of us? Nightwings. The opportunity to gain your freedom from the downside. Was it not enough?
No, it wasn't, because we shouldn't have been here in the first place, most of us, you dick. No one cares what shall become of the Commonwealth. It is a horror show. Like, truly an awful place. That night, the exile Oralech returned to the Commonwealth. He was to be the last. The stars had faded, and the cycle of the Rites had run its course. He found the Commonwealth in a state of unrest. Spurred by the efforts of 5 liberated exiles, Volfred Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles and the starless sky pretended the return of the Scribes. The rulers of the Commonwealth pushed back. Fighting broke out in the streets, in spite of Sandalwood's intentions. It was then that the winged High Remnants chose to strike. Allegations that the High Wing Remnants were in league with Sandalwood were never proven. However, there was no denying the result of the two-pronged attack. After enduring for almost a millennium, the Commonwealth had fallen. A millennium. Well, yeah, she was in the prison for 800 and whatever years. 873. The new Saurian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leaders ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth decree forbidding literacy. Victories. Today, we still remember all of this. And we remember the exiles of the downside, whose deeds led to the dawning of our age, whether they returned or not. True freedom. Oh, Tizo, I almost forgot about you. Choose someone to learn what became of them since you last met. Oh, well. After her liberation, Jodariel soon became an icon of the movement that led to the collapse of the Commonwealth and the rise of the Saurian Union. Our nation formed in 839 AS after the fall of the Commonwealth. One day, we all may stand shoulder to shoulder with a common cause. Her military prowess and experience led to key victories and clashes against Commonwealth loyalists. Each time, she was able to subdue the opposition, avoiding lethal force. In the uncertain times that follows, Jodariel's seasoned expertise often came into play both in matters of security and of state. For instance, she conscripted and trained a team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon came to value their service. They have stood for the people ever since, and we celebrate their founding day each year. She remained close with Hedwyn all through this experience, and they supported each other through their struggles many, many times. She often had to stop herself from fearing for May, whom she had tried to look after as much as possible in the downside. Soon she would reassure herself that May was very capable of surviving on her own, and in fact she was not mistaken. She continued training on her own, a regimen that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and she sometimes obliged. There remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness, for the most part. As soon as possible after Tamitha Thane earned back her liberty, she rejoined her sisters of the High Wing Remnants in the mountains north of the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth believed that someone such as she could be rehabilitated through years spent in exile. Instead, her hatred for her ancient enemies only intensified. On the night of the Scribe's return, inspired by the liberated exiles, the people of the Commonwealth demanded new leadership. Cast yourselves down, chant from the Scribe's return. The High Wing Remnants were poised to strike the Commonwealth in a decisive blow. They had received credible intelligence about the expected positions of the Commonwealth leadership and of specific weaknesses in the blood border defenses anticipated that night. After a surgical procedure, Tamitha could fly again, almost as well as prior to her exile. She insisted on spearheading the attack with a squadron of the Harp's finest. They descended on their foes exactly as planned. The chaos that had risen in the streets of the Commonwealth that night made for an optimal diversion. Nonetheless, the battle took its toll. Many of Tamitha's sisters fell. She herself sustained many grievous wounds, but ignored them all and fought with a terrible fury. By dawn, the leaders of the Commonwealth had been eliminated, and Tamitha was limping back toward the mountains. She would never fly again. Soon after the fall of the Commonwealth, Tamitha attended a debriefing in which her blood sister Pamitha was also in attendance. Tamitha was very skeptical that Pamitha could have played a beneficial role in the preceding events and lashed out at her. Pamitha made no attempt to elude the attack and was struck full on. This cost Pamitha the use of her right wing, yet after she recovered, she shrugged the incident aside and said maybe they would call it even now. From that point on, the Blood Sisters kept a formal distance, but were cordial with each other. After the rise of the Saurian Union, Tamitha Thane continued to serve as flight tactician and remained respected and feared even among her kind. However, without a war to wage, she grew more distant even than usual. Those closest to her surmised that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was at the heart of this, though for her part, Tamitha never once admitted to any such weakness. After Rukey Greentail earned back his freedom, he returned to a lavish welcome ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was the tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury, and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given in to his better judgment, as he did end up siding with Volfred Sandalwood's revolutionary forces as he promised. On the night of the Scribe's return, Greentail kept busy barking orders to Volfred's agents as the situation grew tenser. He took rather well to leadership. When dawn finally came and it became clear that the Commonwealth that everybody knew would be no more, he realized many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was as well off as he always said. One of his orders of business was to seek out one of his old companions, Pamitha Thane, to whom he took a liking during their quest for freedom. They bonded further over love of drink and supported one another through uncertain times that lay in store. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all his many friends and knew that he owed his fortunes to them. He made a special point of staying close with the group of friends he came to know so well during his time with the Nightwings, wherever they were. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. Long after the rites had ended, May admitted that she knew well before the fact that she would not be going home again. At least, she had a very strong feeling. She ended up not minding very much, because she had little to return to in the Commonwealth. Her sense of home had changed. She took to wandering from one celestial landmark to the next, ever paying homage to the 8 scribes, who she believed had influenced all that transpired. She was no stranger to traveling alone, but was always happy to have company. Through it all, she would wonder how her little friend Tizo had fared. While they were divided now by a great distance, he always remained in her heart. Though they could not see each other any longer, May often thought about Jodariel and spoke to her as though she were there. May tried never to make a decision without first consulting her idea of what Miss Jodariel might say. Whenever she felt genuine doubt, which was not very often, she sought out the reader. You, the reader, you are an exile of the Commonwealth, sentenced to life in the downside, once merely the status of a deviant, yet now a revered title in the Saurian Union. Of the Nightwings, if there was anyone whom she trusted as much as the scribes, it was them. One day, she encountered one of her former adversaries, one called Almer Oldheart, who had served the Fate. She remembered him much more than he did her, though only just at first. Their shared experience in the Rites and their different points of view about the Scribes formed the basis of what grew to be a long-lasting relationship. May always was devoted to her faith, but more so to her friends. Her gentle manner and unwavering conviction often helped them brave life in the downside, both with courage and with grace. As the cycle of rites drew to a close, it grew evident that a chance at freedom from the downside had forever slipped from Dalbert and Almer Oldheart's grasp. Thus, they and the exiles of the Fate returned to Jomuer Valley. There, they struggled to get by as exiles of the downside tend to do. Sometime after the rites had ended, the Oldhearts had last heard the news that the Commonwealth had fallen. This was well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Dalbert great joy. Despite his forthright manner, he had no love for the nation that cast him down, along with his son. Dalbert Oldheart passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to the Scribes. Almer never shared his father's view of the Scribes, but respected Dalbert's wishes, and so, after a period of mourning, Almer began a new journey. One day, during his travels, he ran almost headlong into another exile after paying homage to the spring of Jomuer. He was stunned to find that this was none other than the one he knew as May from their days as adversaries in the Rites. May was overjoyed to see him, though Almer was unable to bring himself to understand why. Eventually, of course, he did, and they remained together, growing ever more accustomed to their new lives in the downside. Not a day went by that Almer Oldheart did not think about his father and give thanks to him, and speak to him at morning and at night. Would that the stars yet shone, for surely Dalbert's would be there among them, smiling down at his son and watching over him and his kin. The imp called Tizo was the first of his kind to achieve liberty through the Rites. While he was not the only imp trained in the ways of the Scribes, imps are native to the downside and thus care not for traveling abroad. This made them useful to triumvirates. Yet Tizo had a different calling, and the Nightwings believed that he too could play a key part in Volfred Sandalwood's plan. During the night of Scribe's return, he stood out to the populace as something of a miracle. They had only heard of downside imps before, from legends of Haub the Swallow, first of the 8 scribes of the Book of Rites, known as the Gracious or the Accursed. An imp of rare intellect, he showed compassion to Soliam after he fell into exile. Afterwards, he became something of an icon, representing both the fall of the Commonwealth and the beginning of a new era. Volfred Sandalwood would sometimes send him little gifts all the way from the downside. Despite the insurmountable distance between them, their friendship proved more than resilient. Tizo often missed his interactions with the Reader and the Nightwings. They had quickly built quite a rapport back in the downside. He and Oralech reconciled as well. Oralech offered him free room and board, and that was that. Tizo liked riding on his shoulders. And Tizo would often express wistful gratitude for all his time conducting the rites alongside the Nightwings, who made such sacrifices for him. Other than that, Tizo was diligent about his role as something of a living artifact, and helped interpret for the messenger imps that relayed news to and from the downside. Despite having gained significant celebrity, he never let it go to his head, although he did take full advantage of his access to the Saurian Union's fishing industry. In the aftermath of the final liberation rite, Oralech at last returned to his nation, one he had not seen in nearly 2 decades. He scarce recognized it. After all, it was in the midst of transformation, a social and cultural upheaval sparked by Volfred Sandalwood's plan. When Oralech witnessed the people of the Commonwealth gathered in solidarity under the black sky there on the night of Scribe's return, he looked on in silence for a time. Then the high-winged remnants descended, and a panic quickly spread among those gathered. A pitched battle erupted in the streets. It was chaos. Oralech observed all this, then took a step toward the fray. He knelt beside the closest injured man to him. He staunched the man's bleeding and set an injured leg, then pulled him to a safer corner of the street. Oralech's old abilities as a physician had not left him during all his years. Thus did he aid as many as he could throughout that night until the danger passed. History would know him as the Demon Doctor, a term of endearment that stuck even after his horns started to recede. He lent his skills and services throughout the birth of the Saurian Union. The one he had called the Shadow of the False Nightwings was someone whom he thought of often. He knew he owed his freedom to them. Having witnessed the aftermath of Sandalwood's plan, Oralech understood at last what his former companion wanted. Years ago they conceived a version of this plan. Now Oralech found he wished Sandalwood could be present to witness the reality of it. Oralech later reunited with Tizo, who took residence with him in some ways similar to how they lived in olden times. The imp always enjoyed his company. Along with his thoughts, Oralech would sometimes visit the memorial to the fallen leaders of the Commonwealth. Though, other than such appearances, and notwithstanding his duties as Master Physician of the state, Oralech led a very private life. Few would have guessed that he once was one of the most accomplished rites conductors in the history of the Nightwings. History, of course, shall ensure we shall not forget. After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth, and was vital in the outcome of the plan. He was the one who led the raid on the stronghold where Archjustice Androboles IX was holed up when the fighting force grew fierce. With him, then and thereafter, was one of the winged harps of the High Wing Remnants, later identified as Fikani Shang. Their bond was vital to the peace that followed. In all his days as the leader of the Saurian Union, Hedwyn oft confided in his friend Jodariel. Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more in times when circumspection was required. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he had pledged to Jodariel, Rukey Greentail, and the Reader of the Nightwings that they might all be free again together. He had broken that vow, for, in the end, not all of them were able to return. A terrible guilt over this darkened his mood for a time. However, the others whom he still knew lifted his spirits, much like he had often lifted theirs. All of the Nightwings knew the stakes. While the others who stood with the Nightwings were not all able to remain in contact thus, Hedwyn thought of each of them often, and so in turn did they oft think of him. After regaining her freedom, Pamitha Thane found herself in a difficult position. Having once betrayed her people to the High Wing Remnants, she knew that she would not be welcome in her native home. She did not trust the Commonwealth either. Instead, she found her place among Volfred Sandalwood's agents, who were busy doing their part to fulfill the plan. The plan took certain unexpected turns, but in the end resulted in the outcome Sandalwood had envisioned. It was fortunate that the High Wing Remnants arrived when they did on the night of Scribe's return. However, Pamitha denied involvement with or foreknowledge of this. Afterward, Pamitha played an active part in negotiating terms between the High Wing Remnants and the new nation that would become the Saurian Union. Her previous attempt at something of the sort led to her exile. She must have felt some satisfaction to succeed this time around. Sometime later, Pamitha had an unexpected run-in with Rukey Greentail, with whom she had spent a fair amount of time while traveling with the Nightwings. Under these new set of circumstances, it turned out the two had more to talk about, and rather more in common. They would often put to test which one was able to outdrink the other. It is unclear as to which one of them prevailed in that contest in the end. One day, Pamitha received an invitation to return to the High Wing Remnants, where she was to be fully pardoned. That was where she ran into her blood sister, Tamitha, for the first time since their exile. Their reunion was not as amicable as Pamitha might have hoped, and Tamitha, still resentful of their history together, turned violent. Pamitha would later brush aside the incident, though always had an injury to show for it. Yet, from that point on, the blood sisters were back on speaking terms, at least for the most part. Later, when asked, Pamitha Thane admitted she felt as though she had no home to call her own. This was during an interview conducted amid an extensive trip abroad, for she had traveled thousands of leagues beyond the bounds of the Saurian Union. Pamitha continued to journey thus, citing that it reminded her of when she was younger and could fly unfettered. When Manley Tinderstauff realized the rites had ended and that he no longer could return to the Commonwealth through this ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the Scribe, spewed forth such a slew of blasphemy as to be very unbecoming of one of his high status and bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused all his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via Messenger Imp, and used their vast resources to explore other means of escape. He tried using an elaborate pulley system. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with superior propulsion. He tried an imp raft, a hot air balloon, even prayer. There was nothing worked. There was only one way to escape the downside, and now it was gone. Dinderstauf bankrupted his family in these vain attempts. At last, such was his shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of Black Basin, to Cinderwood. There he yet wallows, complaining to his comrades of the chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortune or the latest news from the other side. After the cycle of rites ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings became inconclusive and contradictory. Some accounts suggest that the exiles of the Nightwings who remained in the downside continued to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there is no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyonder Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition of Sandra the Unseeing. One possibility is that when the lone minstrel took his leave, he took the Beyonder Crystal with him, for he was thus obliged. By this line of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remain skeptical that the Beyonder Crystal ever existed, or rather that the visions that it granted were anything other than the result of an active imagination or a fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs offer still another explanation, for they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object in which the Sisters of the Arch had been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment could have expired along with the light of the stars. What this would have meant for Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than it may have meant that they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fates of Sandra and the Beyonder Crystal remain unknown. Yet those exiles of the Nightwings who claimed to have seen this apparition all spoke of her with degrees of reverence or perhaps a little fear. Can you believe this, reader? Honestly. Sandra has appeared before you, as well you can see. They are so far from the mark with all this nonsense. I am wont to laugh. In fact, here goes. She laughs. She is referring to the account of her. You sense she does not care for it. Well, let them gossip all they like. I merely wish that they would mention you at least in passing, when next they are at it, though they shall never know even the half of it, shall they? Sandra seems irritated by the incomplete account of what happened to her. Reassure her, the account was relatively flattering despite a lack of detail. It could have been worse. Humor her, perhaps making some light of the situation will make Sandra feel better. Remain silent. Sometimes Sandra just needs a little time to vent. She values that. You listen. You let Sandra have her moment. Soon the flash of anger passes and she is back to her usual self. It is no matter, I suppose, though they ought to have mentioned you at least, and there is nothing you can say that shall convince me otherwise. Anyway, let us keep going, lovely reader. We know the truth of it. That is what matters. She fades into the Beyonder Crystal for now, and you tuck it away safe. Okay, I'm really dry-mouthed. Obviously, it's a ton of reading. I gotta go get some more water, and I'll be right back, and we'll finish reading these, and I can go to sleep. Okay, pressing onwards. The Worm Knight Sir Gilman had elected to go into exile as penance for his failure to uphold his military obligations to the Commonwealth. To him, earning back his freedom was tantamount to erasing the shame of his past. His honor was at stake more so than anything. Yet when it became clear to him that he would not go free again through the rites, he readily accepted the outcome, for he knew by then that much more was on the line. He regretted not having a chance to contribute directly to the events that transpired in the Commonwealth, though he was pleased to hear the outcome. The conclusion of the rites and the fall of the Commonwealth made clear to him that his days as a knight had ended. He declared to all those in earshot that he would never fight again. Unless, of course, there arose some other extraordinary set of circumstance, again requiring him to fight, but he certainly hoped not. He still trained regularly, though never found as skilled and motivating of a partner as his fleet-footed friend Rukey Greentail, whom he remembered fondly. From time to time, he would seek guidance from one of his former comrades, Big Bertrude, much his elder, and a wellspring of perspective on his life decisions. He was always grateful for the counsel of the reader, and would regale them over and over about the time they squashed the spawn of unfathomed plurness. He wasted no time dwelling on his days under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. The other Worm Knights stayed well clear of him. Gilman never did return to his homeland of the Sea Dominion and was content to lead a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. It was just high up enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fear of heights. Other than that, an intense daily training regimen and the occasional visit from an old companion was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then that honor was not something to be won, but a contract with oneself to be renewed each day. All his life, Sir Deluge had fled from one danger only to find himself facing another. He had escaped the war-torn waters of the Sea Dominion, he had escaped the blood border of the Commonwealth, and now he had escaped the Rites. After the Rites had ended, many exiles wrapped up in the ancient test were crestfallen, as their last chances to return to their homes vanished, along with the stars above. But Deluge did not mind, for this outcome meant that at last there was no burden of responsibility weighing down on him. Having heard that Sir Gilman also had remained behind, Deluge made a point of avoiding him at all costs. Nonetheless, they ran into each other once, riding a cold current in the Sea of Solace. The meeting was terse and cordial. Deluge ended up apologizing profusely for mistreating his fellow Worm Knight, and that was the end of it. While most of his fellow exiles of the Pyrehearts yet longed for the waters of the Sea Dominion, driven as ever by their impulses toward conflict, Deluge settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one Lady Seagrass. She's a Worm Knight duty-bound to serving Sir Deluge and the Pyrehearts, who had taken a liking to him for some reason. Reportedly, they disappeared into the waters of Worm Gulf, which may begin to explain the significant increase in worm population observed in the vicinity. After the final liberation rite, Lendel refused to believe that the rites had truly ended. He would sit through night after consecutive night, staring into the blackness of the sky, awaiting any kind of sign that he might gain another chance at freedom. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority once liberty had slipped from their grasp. But Lendel dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted, rather forcefully, that any evening now the stars would shine for him again and mark the way toward his inevitable freedom. He was, of course, mistaken. The others in his triumvirate were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as Lendel the Liar was never seen again. However, there have since been sightings of a bedraggled demon who wanders the downside and bears Lendel's crude countenance, suggesting he yet lives. Several exiles of the Nightwings cared more for the plan of Sandalwoods than to return home from the downside. The crone called Big Bertrude was a prime example. She had found a suitable environment to live within the dismal region known as Flagging Hands. There she had built up a thriving place of business known to many exiles in the land. With the rites having ended, she returned to her preoccupations, working away almost as though nothing had happened. When one gets to be more than 400 years of age, perhaps then even monumental events such as the culmination of the Rites or the collapse of the Commonwealth are seen as trifling matters. Much of her effort was doubtless due to the influence of Sandalwood, whom she had admired now for decades. He had made clear that he could not requite her feelings for him, but what could have been a hurtful dismissal led only to a deeper understanding between them. By and large, Bertrude kept focus on her work. Whether casting small enchantments or imbuing talismans, the work brought her a sense of purpose, she would say. In the Commonwealth, such services were strictly forbidden, but in the downside, there was a real need for simple luxuries, which the competing slug market could not always provide. Thus did Big Bertrude continue to live up to her name, and the tales of her days with the Nightwings made her that much more the living legend. After the cycle of the rites had ceased, witch Udmildhe returned to the Flagging Hands region, where she sealed herself within the pit of Milithy. There, even her fellow exiles, the Withdrawn, allegedly grew unnerved after a time and left her to her vile work. Sometime later, the pit of Milithy erupted into flame. So intense was the conflagration that it could be seen all the way from Jomuer Valley. Arson was suspected, though the cause was never verified, and many bog dwellers in the region were forced to flee. A tempest blowing from the north finally quenched the flames. When at last the ashes settled and the grounds had cooled, the site of the fire was scarred beyond recognition. No trace of witch Udmildhe could be found. As for the contents of the pit of Milithy, which notably included a profane object thought to be the remains of Yishlak, all of it was gone as well. Back in the Saurian Union, Udmildhe's repeated threats of the return of Yishlak were thoroughly investigated, and no credence was found to any of her claims. With the rites drawn to a close, the slug market's revenues fell precipitously, and Falcon Ron was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Yet, as is sometimes the case with those of an entrepreneurial leaning, this time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least a sudden change of fortune. One day, Falcon Ron had a run-in with a messenger imp bearing news from the other side. Ron gave it to one of his remaining trinkets, which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger imp returned to him bearing a tidy sum of wealth in newly minted coinage from the Saurian Union. Falcon Ron cut a long-term deal with the messenger imp then and there. Though his trade remained a gray area from a legal standpoint in the Saurian Union, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falcon Ron's goods to explode in popularity. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Bertrude and found a distribution partner on the other side through Rukey Greentail, whose own business had exploded. Especially in the Saurian Union, Falcon Ron's goods are still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for any side effects. Once it became clear to Ignarius that the rites were drawing to a close, he knew that it was time for him and the Tempers to call it quits. But at first he and the Tempers decided to celebrate, and that they did for many, many nights. The revelry did eventually subside. The exiles parted amicably and went their separate ways. He roamed the downside then, searching for some meaning in his life, sometimes taking odd jobs requiring his brute strength. He never remained alone for very long and took on many lovers in his time. However, he sometimes thought about the one he had called Curly Horns and what became of her. Though his glory days are the most powerful conductor of the rites had long since passed, he always enjoyed the fearsome reputation he had cultivated at that time. When the cycle of the rites ceased turning, Volfred Sandalwood turned toward the starless sky and closed his eyes and prayed. It was all that he could do at that stage of his plan. He aspired to assemble with liberated exiles representing each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the 8 scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grip. With the rites ending sooner than expected, this ideal scenario became impossible. Sandalwood's own freedom, for instance, was now forfeit. Yet the plan did have contingencies. Word reached him that, on the night of Scribe's return, several of his fellow liberated Nightwings stood together, and their voices echoed through the streets. It was vital to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth be peaceful in its nature, but this proved to be untenable, especially after the Highwing remnants appeared. There was speculation that their well-timed assault may not have happened by coincidence, though Sandalwood denied any involvement and regretted the bloodshed. Nevertheless, the main thrust of the plan had been achieved. Sandalwood kept busy after that, as much as possible, providing counsel from afar to those who would be at the forefront of the birth of the Saurian Union. Of course, being stranded in the downside meant that there was only so much he could do. Resting assured that the future of the nation was in capable hands, he turned his attention to the remaining exiles of the downside. They might never return to that new nation, but at least they could experience its triumphs and its struggles in some vicarious way. So he took to his old work, writing and printing. As literacy began to spread again throughout the Saurian Union, so too did exiles of the downside take to it. For his part, Sandalwood helped to teach as many as he could. More than that, he provided the material to read, a semi-annual report about the latest events both in the Saurian Union and the downside. This periodical gave many exiles something to look forward to. He welcomed the company of the reader of the Nightwings at every opportunity and counted them a trusted friend and a keen editor. He is pleased to hear that his one-time friend Oralech had once become a productive part of his society, yet he spoke little of their time together. As Volfred Sandalwood gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices and his contributions, it is said that he remained steadfast about two things. The first was that the cause itself ought to remain in focus. The freedom that the people had achieved, it was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Nightwings who had stood with him, each in turn by name. He never forgot any of them. One day, to commemorate his birthday, the people of the Saurian Union unveiled a monument depicting him and the Nightwings as imagined in their prime. While Sandalwood did not learn of it until much later, it is said that he was moved to tears then by the gesture. It has since ensured that those of us with memories more fallible than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his fellow former exiles and our cause. Barker Ashballs never had much interest in returning to the Commonwealth, for he always found its bylaws to be stifling, so when the rites ended he did not care at first. He soon grew very bored. The rites had given his life a certain sense of structure he had always needed. He missed the raw anticipation of it all. He decided to continue conducting the rites for the thrill of it. He bent some of the rules and replaced some of the objects, but it was close enough. His packmates, the Dissidents, proved more than happy to participate, and thus they ran against each other back in Jomuer Valley. Gradually, other exiles familiar with the rites, as well as those who had not heard of it at all, started to take interest. They ended up giving Barker Ashballs some healthy competition. His old feud with Rukey Greentail ceased meaning anything to him, and he forgot all about it amid his new pursuits. Ultimately, even Barker Ashpaws, who had led such a directionless existence to that point, found something of a calling through the rites. Whether he took the rites less seriously than any other exile of his time, or more, was oft debated by those who watched him work. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. Their parting was heartfelt but brief. He remained there at the summit of Mount Elodiel with Celeste, where the two of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tariq nor Celeste were ever seen again. We all know all this now through song attributed to them. Some claim these songs originated in the taverns of the Saurian Union and merely were imbued with weight of folklore. However, exiles liberated from the downside corroborated each other's claims at having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggests that these minstrels were heralds of the Scribes. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we know and rejoined their patrons. One of their famous songs describes another, simpler outcome, that the two gave up their duties to the rites in favor of a life that they could share together. In any case, they were likely to remain the subject of such verses and such songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. There is one more count which warrants mention. The Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. and boy, how much reading did he do. Little is known of them. However, some accounts of them begin to paint a picture. We know they were of common birth, weak-framed, though raised with a penchant for learning. Hey, hold the fuck on now. The journey to the downside left them close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found them. They brought them from the brink. They showed them the path. They pressed onward with the others. They had made a vow to help their friends be free. Thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. When the final rite arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. In the end, however, they remained in exile. From that point on, accounts of them diverge. It is said the voice which troubled them they never heard again. Some say they chose to tend the downside's land, though whether that is true, only they know. Oh, I get to become a farmer, like my dreams? Someday, perhaps, that reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of night in all its brilliant glory. Until such time, and ever after, all of us give thanks.
Their journey began on a barren waste where the reader arrived.
I give thanks for this fucking game. Wow.
When they arrived, the book of Rites awakened the Nightwings.
Oh damn, you've been listening to all that reading?
They follow the stars bound together, strands in our brain till the end. We sing of the last of the Nightwings who, having broken the cycle,
You are a real one. I thought for sure you would have fallen asleep by now. I would have.
Hedwyn prevailed and strode the path that his heart laid before him. He has found his way home. Captain Jodariel, mother to many a foundling, she has found her way home. Rukey Greentail has proved his worth and returned to his family.
He's stronger than that. I'm impressed.
They follow the stars bound together, strands in a brain till the end.
The Research Centaur is an excellent name.
Heals the scribes in the heart of the downside. She remained to the end.
Tizo prevailed, first of his lowly kind, to ascend from the downside. He has found a new home. Sir Gilman the bold, duty bound to honor the Nightwings. He remains to the end. Pamitha Thane, having pleased the Scribe, seeking only forgiveness, she has found her way home.
They only voicing 2 and 3 people. Psh, I did all of them. They need to get on my level.
The great mastermind, Volfred Sandalwood, saw his plans turn to action. He remained till the end. The bog dweller Bertrude kept their foes at bay with her finest enchantments. She remained till the end. The reader at last made the Nightwings whole, having bound them together. They remained till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. They follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end.
That's me.
Now at the end, as we bid farewell and return to the stars.
And this is their forgotten game that nobody knows about.
We shall find our way home. We shall find our way
Is this my library? Did I get books back again? Or is this in the upper world? Looks a little nice to be the downside, if I'm being honest. It has the symbols of all the triumvirates. Spectacular game. Super good. Lot of reading. True Nightwing campaign mode unlocked. Press start to return to the main menu. Yeah, lot of reading. Probably not so bad if you're playing it on your own, but on stream where you have to read it out loud, pretty taxing. But a lot of fun to do the voices. Stories are all good. Love the characters. The gameplay was kind of short-lived. Like later on, we were getting some like real tactics going. That was cool. I'm interested to see how psychotic it is if you activate all the little stars. So I'll probably try that at some point. But yeah, really like this game a lot. A lot. I am glad the rating didn't fall on deaf ears, yes. But yeah, I like this game a lot. And I'm really looking forward now, because everybody fucking like went gaga over Hades. Like, is Hades really that much better than this game? Because if so, damn. So anyway, let's press start to return to the main menu. So, thank you again for coming to hang out. So, goodbye.